Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Delta Green role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Behold the Nightmare. It was written by Tuesday, 8 o'clock, and it's available from the 2002 Shotgun Scenario Contest. Our handler is Alex Sun, and this is a one-shot. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Alex?
Thank you, Tom. It is the evening of January 19th, 2023. The Delta Green email that you have been monitoring has become active. Using the subtext and the cipher that you were given, the email is addressed to Working Group Excoriate for Operation Facile Exaltation. The contents of this email seem to be a company email invitation to a work function at Fun Belly Hog Farm in Telluride, Colorado. The date and time is for 3 p.m. January 20th. So I'd love for everyone to describe themselves and their family life. What lies are you telling those at home as you make these travel arrangements?
Well, I'm Agent Axon. I am a neurosurgeon, and despite the fact that I'm highly well paid and quite prominent, I don't have time for much of a relationship at home. So I'm not married. I was married. I am divorced. And I'm just always busy. So this just is another assignment for me.
Right? How are you getting there?
Well, let's see. I'm driving. I'm driving in my very expensive car.
Sounds good. Let's move on to Artemis. Who are you? Describe yourself.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Agent Artemis. I'm an FBI agent, and so I make appropriate excuses to my husband, Josh, about a case I'm working. I kiss my daughter, Libby, who is only 3, goodbye, and leave her in the capable hands of her father. He is a stay-at-home dad, and he cares for her. He's our primary caregiver anyway, and I head out.
Yeah, I would say that he knows better than to ask about top secret missions that you're going on. He makes a joke or two and says goodbye. How are you heading to Telluride, Colorado?
All right, yep. I'll just get in my very boring, bland Toyota Corolla and head on out.
Sounds good. What about Agent Moth? Who are you?
Agent Moth is in his late 30s. He's a software developer, but he tells his wife that he's going to a conference to learn about, these new Python frameworks, and just lays on the technical jargon until her eyes roll into the back of her skull. And I will get there by my Tesla will drive me there.
Wonderful. And Sherlock.
Yeah, I'm Agent Sherlock. I'm in my late 30s. I live near Colorado, so it's not a very far drive for me, fortunately. My living situation is not ideal. It's rather messy. I've been alone since the wife left me. We wanted to start a family, but she told me that I was insufferable, and she never believed the lies, believed that I was in drug deals or gambling or something. I just couldn't lie my way out of it. And I've been rather excited for work. So looking forward to go have something to focus on, do some good.
Yeah. You weren't in drug dealers or any gang activity. You were in something worse, something called Delta Green.
Yep, couldn't tell her.
You make your way there. Last but not least, Agent Bishop.
As a Navy SEAL, my wife, Sydney, doesn't ask a lot of questions about assignments that I have or poke about on multiple devices that I keep in my home office. So it's a pretty straightforward affair. tell her that I'll be back in a couple of days, that I probably be totally out of touch. And I drive my Explorer, I guess, with some kit in it.
Wonderful. So, making your way there the next day, you can see those magnificent Rocky Mountain range in the background. And eventually you happen upon Fun Belly Hog Farm, which is a prize pig farm. You have your ticket.
Too.
Yes. You have your ticket. You're let in. And you see a familiar face who you have worked with in the past. This is your case handler, Yang. He is an Asian man in his mid-40s. He's wearing large sunglasses and a Hawaiian shirt. And he waves you over.
Does he look tired as usual?
Of course. You can't tell with the sunglasses that are a little too large, but from his posture, yes.
Yang, as always, you blend right into the background in January in Colorado.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm heading to Alaska soon, but yeah.
Coming or going on vacation?
In the dead of winter?
You know me. Anyways, he ignores you, Axon. We have a situation here. We have people who have 3 people that have died from epilepsy in their sleep, and that has raised some suspicions within our group. A friendly, Dr. Jeremiah Alston, he's the coroner who called it in. And I need you to basically investigate what's going on and put a stop to it, and if possible, contain it so we can collect.
Do we think this is a contagion or an intentionally introduced agent? Or I don't know how common sleep epilepsy is, so
I suppose that is what you are to find out. He gives you the address to the coroner, and he says, well, we've officially assigned you on as part of an outside group doing an investigation. I know these are very shaky credentials, but this is the best we could get for now.
Here to see what you've got for us. We'll see.
Right. And he hands you a gift bag with American memorabilia. And this has 5 burner phones. He says numbers are programmed in for me and the friendly.
Yeah.
What can you tell us?
Go ahead.
What can you tell us about Alston?
Alston, he is a reliable asset for our group, and he has proven time and time again to use tact and class.
And is he aware of our organization?
He is aware not of us by name, but by another cover story. He thinks that we are the Men in Black.
The Men in Black. Wonder what the Men in Black think of us.
I'll call him up. Get back to you. He sighs again, and he looks at his watch. An alarm goes off on his watch. Well, looks like I have a plane to catch.
Enjoy Alaska.
Yeah,
yes.
Have fun at the beach.
Let me know if you need any supplies as usual. He trudges off.
Well, should we find a place to stay first and then make our way over to the doctor's, or were we supposed to do something here at Hog Central?
The smell's getting to you.
Yeah, it's pretty strong.
Is there a town around this pigsty, or is this just the place?
There is a town. You are near the town of Telluride.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Let's drive into Telluride and find ourselves a little Motel 6 or
Sure, you lead the caravan. I'll call this Dr. Alston on the burner on the way and ask him if he wants us, where he wants to meet us, and so on.
All right,
I'll use the burner phone to call. Does it have internet?
Yeah.
All right. So I'll use Yelp to find nearby.
It's one of
hotels.
those older model phones, and you can tell that the call time is limited by, like, let's say you get 30 minutes of call time.
Well, let's just drive in town. It can't be that big of a town. There's got to be something there.
Right, and it's a one street town with the main street with all the motels, restaurants, and you can
What
see.
I could find on Google Maps is a tiny ass town in the middle of the Rockies.
Yeah.
So is there a bed and breakfast? Maybe there's a nice bed and
There
breakfast.
is. There is.
Let's say I think it's a popular tourist destination. So
Yeah, it might be skiing.
It's very scenic.
I don't think we want to be at a B&B. We want to be at some place that has less face time.
agreed.
We want to be at a place where we can get into a back door 24 hours and not have to talk to anybody.
All right.
Like a Motel 6 sort of deal.
La Quinta Inn. Yeah.
Yeah, then
Doesn't
you're
look
able
like they
to
have
find
a
one of
lot,
those.
but all right. So let's drive over there, get ourselves settled.
All right, and by the time you get there, it's around 4 p.m. because of your meeting with Yang.
Yeah. Did Alston pick up?
Alston? Yes. So you call Axon, and it takes maybe a couple rings before you hear an older man on the other side of the phone pick up. And he's like, yes, this is Dr. Alston.
It was I who was going to call, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. My friend Mr. Yang said that you have might be able to help me with my sleep trouble. My name is Bishop.
Well, pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. We're getting settled. Where is it that it might be convenient for a consultation?
I'm currently at the coroner's office. I can arrange for guest passes to be available to you before you come in.
Okay. 4:15, 4:20?
Works for me.
Very good. Thank you, Doctor. I look forward to shaking your hand.
Oh. And I as well. And let's see if you find a Motel 6 or not. I'd like someone to roll luck. 50.
Half and half.
Who's rolling it?
Anyone.
I'll roll it.
Who's the luckiest?
28.
Where?
All right. Artemis is very lucky. There is a vacancy for a Motel 6. And it's winter. There's a few people here for skiing, but you're able to secure a room. How many rooms are you getting? Are you just sleeping by yourselves?
They got room for 5. I'll get each of us a room.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You get a room each. Okay. Wonderful. And that's easy enough. What kind of equipment did you all pack?
Mostly, stuff for forensic investigation.
Mm-hmm.
I brought a little bit of lab equipment, microscope, slides, reagents, and stuff like that. Have bags.
Excellent. Love to hear it. So we've got forensic equipment.
I've brought I brought some toys that we could use to snoop in on, find and listen in on some internet traffic, find Wi-Fi signals, things of that sort.
Cool. Anyone else?
My explorer has a obvious weapons case that is locked, and it has a subtle weapons case that is locked where the less common gear lives. And, standard useful tools, field dressing, hand tools, that sort of thing.
Oh, excellent.
I
All geared
usually
up.
do. Yeah. I believe Colorado is quite liberal with its firearms laws, so I'll probably have something holstered on my person, even in general.
You look like you belong.
Right.
All right. Anything else before we move on?
Yeah. So Sherlock's a little paranoid. He keeps a tactical vest on underneath his windbreaker and a small arm. That's the only kind of iffy thing. But besides that, it's all business. He has evidence collection kit, flashlight, first aid kit, stuff like that.
Yeah, Artemis is pretty similar. Standard FBI loadout, the pistols, first aid kit, collection kit, etc.
Are you wearing your FBI logo?
I'm wearing the windbreaker, yeah.
All right. Make a luck roll.
Pretty. That is not as an 81. So no.
Okay. Great. So you're all heading out. Are you all going to the corner?
Yes.
Yes.
In that case, as soon as you start exiting your Motel 6, you hear the galloping of a horse. That's about it. That's about it.
We don't
You
see
don't
the
see it.
horse, we just hear it.
Yeah.
Strange.
We're in cowboy country.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of patties on the roadside. Did you get a sense of the direction of that?
I
No,
wasn't paying that close attention.
Well,
it's a little
it's
cold
January.
out to
It's
be-
quite snowy, isn't it?
Well, if it's on the road and it's cold, sound travels really well. He could have been 3 or 4 blocks away, and the echo of that clip clop on the floor on the ground could be magnified. I've heard that happen before. Not that unusual.
How cold is it, Antler?
I would say it's not too, maybe 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
So there's still a lot of snow on the ground.
There's snow
It's
on the
just-
ground, but it's a little chilly. It's not below freezing.
It's mild for January in the mountains, for sure.
How are road conditions? Do they plow in here or is it icy?
Yes, they plow it, especially here in Telluride. You can see a lot of tourists here loading up skiing equipment, coming back from the mountains, since it is round 4.
Maybe
Probably won't be
two.
the first horse that we'll hear.
I think 2 vehicles to the coroner's office, just to simplify things.
Would you all like to ride in my car?
Yes, I'd love to.
We would need 2, but
I'll take my own.
Moth, you've
Anyone's welcome to come.
okay. Well, whoever wants to pile in mine, pile in.
All right, I'm
It's
gonna
the rich Corinthian leather.
I'll ride in style with Agent Axon.
All right, so we will go right ahead as you pull up to the Telluride morgue. And at the front of the building, a man in a lab coat and a bristling mustache steps out. He greets you and he's like, "Hello, hello. I have your badges here." He holds them up.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
You're Dr. Alston?
Yes, Dr. Alston. He reaches his hand out.
Hmm.
And he leans in and says, "I'm quite perplexed from what I see here. I
Please
think you
lead
need
the
to
way.
see for yourself." All right, right. And he hurries past the secretary, who is not paying attention at all, and enters the morgue, where there are 3 bodies laid out. All of them show no signs of decay. It's as if they are sleeping.
How far along? When did they pass?
Well, and there are 3 bodies. One of them is a female. 2 of them are men. He points at one with the tag Joseph Tackett. 6 days ago for Joseph. He points towards the woman. 4 days ago for Cheryl Cook, and Oscar Kearsley 2 days ago.
Any known relations between these parties?
No, not from what I can tell. Cause of death might be hypoxia. I'm not sure.
How old are they?
They are a variety of ranges. So Oscar is in his he's 36. Cheryl, she's 28. And then Joseph, he's 46.
I'm going to go over to Joseph, who's the longest dead,
Right.
and do a quick examination for lividity, for rigidity, if he's stiff, if I can determine how long he's been dead based on natural processes.
There is no natural process when it comes to these bodies, so you can definitely roll sanity against the unnatural.
So he's still warm and soft.
He's not warm,
Or
he's not
warm.
rigid.
I got an 8, so I'm fine.
Okay. And
He's-
you have a medicine, right? That's at least 40, I'm guessing.
My medicine is 60, yes.
Okay, then you would know that you can sample the gut fauna to determine how long ago the body ceased operating.
Right.
So if you get a sample of that, you can tell how many days ago they died.
Has there already been an autopsy?
No.
Okay. Well, before I cut him open, I'm going to thoroughly. This is kind of
Alston
perplexing.
says, "Go right ahead. You're the professionals
Yeah.
here."
I've got a bit of a funny streak. I'm going to take the. I don't have any with me right now, but I'm going to put the ear things in, and I'm going to listen for the man's heart.
All right.
And
You do not hear a heartbeat.
I'm going to go, my God, this man's dead. And then chuckle.
What
Well,
were the
it's-
circumstances that they were brought in? How were they found? Etc. That kind of thing.
Right. So Cheryl was found by a friend. Joseph was found because the police did a wellness check. And Oscar was found by his partner. And as you're looking over the bodies, you're noticing that Cheryl has a bruise on the wrist.
Dr. Well, Sherlock. We don't know what to call each other other than the agent names, but could you assist me? I want to roll him over.
Oh yes, of course. I'll do the heavy lifting for you.
I'm very surprised that there's no lividity, that there's no pooling of blood. Should we see if it's somehow coagulated in place, or?
Well, discovered through a wellness check. So they were laying in their house for a time. They wasn't preserved in the cold in any way.
Alston continues, yes, they were all found in bed.
So they all died during their sleep, during what appears to be an epileptic fit. How do you know that it was epilepsy?
That's what I diagnosed it as, and I figured that you could give me the answer.
So you don't actually know whether it was epilepsy. Dr. Galen Hopper.
Yes.
All right.
Well, Dr. Hopper, I'm sure you're more certified than I am.
I'm going to look to see, especially around the mouth and eyes, is there moisture?
Yeah, so you're looking at that, right?
Uh-huh.
No, the bacteria is all dead.
So it's his eye, it's dry.
Yeah, but they're not rotting or anything.
Very strange.
And those of you who are like really looking into this, like also Sherlock, you can roll on sanity against the unnatural.
What
I'm
if we're
assuming-
just casually milling
Yeah,
about the room and not
if you're not an expert in the medical field, then you would know better.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a medical doctor, but I rolled a 73. I'm trying to look for my sanity. I'm unfamiliar with this sheet.
It's on the left-hand
Sanity's
side.
50.
Okay.
So, fail.
All right, then just take one.
Yep. And
Okay.
for what looks peculiar to me?
I'm telling you that this is
Okay.
not possible from your experience.
Right.
Okay.
The person should at least, the skin remains soft. So now I'm kind of curious. I'm going to distend the arm, and I'm going to make a long cut along the arm. What I want to see is the main artery. How is the blood missing? Is it solidified? Why isn't blood pooling on the bottom of the body?
Okay, so when you slice open the arm, blood does spill out. It's like it was moving.
I'm going to look at.
Maybe they're not really dead.
Well, that's possible. There are a number of drugs and a number of medical conditions where it appears that the person
until he
is
bleeds
completely
out
dead.
because you just cut him open.
Hey, you might
I
wanna-
didn't. Yeah. Let's look at this under the microscope.
Okay, so you put that under a slide and you slide it into the microscope, and these blood cells are dead.
They're dead.
Have any toxicology reports been run on these bodies?
Uh,
I think he's done much of anything on the bodies.
no, I haven't, but
Like for
we can do some right now.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
From their medical history, none of them have ever had epilepsy or anything like that.
Any conditions that did any of them have any medical conditions?
That's unknown. I've kept this under wraps and hope that you are finding this out. I do have all their addresses, though.
Yeah, do you know
Yeah,
the
I was-
residences? I was
that's-
curious if they live in the same neighborhood.
No, all around Telluride.
Well, at this point, I can begin doing an autopsy on Joseph, and you
Forgive
don't
me, I
have to
don't wanna
stick
be around
around. Yeah, you
I
probably
wanna
don't want to be around. It should take me about an hour and a half. You can check out the residence. This is quite strange.
Yep, that sounds good to me.
Excellent.
Give you my report.
How uncommon is it for people to die of epilepsy in their sleep?
It's not common at all.
What are common? I mean, these people, I assume, all looked like they were in reasonable good health.
Yeah, I would say so.
They're on the young side. What causes adults to die in their sleep?
Well, it's a neurological problem. We're not exactly sure what causes epilepsy in the first place. We know how to treat some forms of it. What I'm kind of curious about is, do the bodies look like they died during an epileptic fit? There should be signs. There should be muscle bruises. The bodies should have gone through a grand mal seizure. They would have probably urinated and defecated all over themselves.
Right. So as you do your autopsy, you are getting signs of muscle spasming, but it's not as prominent as if they were having a seizure. but there was some kind of movement, some kind of struggle. But there are no struggle marks, no bruising on the skin besides the one that Cheryl has on the wrist.
Right. Wrist.
And also with your medical knowledge, you know that out of like 1,000 people with epilepsy, one of them die every year from sudden.
Yeah, it's not usually common. It can get progressively worse as they get older. But I should like to have their medical records and see.
Yes, I can work on getting those. The doctor says.
So it'll take me about an hour and a half.
Were all of these people local residents? Any of them tourists?
Yes, they were all local residents.
Okay.
I think, Artemis, that the toxicology report seems like the most straightforward way to go. These people could have been exposed to some agent if they died strangely in their sleep. Do we want to let the medicos do the digging around while we say hello to their friends and family?
I think that's an excellent idea, Bishop.
Dr. Alston,
I would do much better at the residences instead of here.
Of course.
I'm not a medical doctor. But I'm curious of any connection we can find between them, whether they work together, shopped at the same store, stuff like that. I know it's a small town.
Check and see what they have in their refrigerator, if they've been eating some local produce or something that has a commonality.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Well, do we want to split up the 3 residences between the 4 of us?
Sure. Seems like in terms of initial fact-finding, that sounds efficient. Dr. Alston, do you have the name of the friend that found Cheryl?
Yes. Her friend is Susan. Susan Morales.
Susan Morales. And did somebody from Joseph's apartment building call the police for a wellness check? What instigated that?
From what I heard, there was yelling.
So there were neighbors that called the police?
Not quite. He does not live in a apartment building per se.
What's his living situation?
From what I know, he lives in a trailer.
Okay.
So, I mean, neighbors in the trailer park, perhaps, or was it a trailer just parked on the side of the highway?
No, he was in a trailer park.
Now that's significant too, because people having seizures don't usually yell out.
Right, they mostly sort of grit their teeth, right?
They lock up, yes.
Yeah. All right.
Well, yeah, you're not seeing any signs of teeth being locked up.
I mean, if you said that Cheryl had a bruise on her wrist, right? That indicates, at least what I've seen from TV shows, a struggle.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, she could have also, in her seizure, hit her arm against something. That wouldn't be anything.
Is it a round bruise or all the way around her wrist? Like, is it just a spot or a
It's
circle?
a spot.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it's about 2
ligature,
inches diameter.
Okay. So, yeah, that could be like an impact of something.
And we don't know that all the 3 of these have died of exactly the same thing either.
Well, do we have medical records for them?
Yes, I can retrieve those.
Yeah, because I would be interested to see how many of them actually have been diagnosed in the past with epilepsy.
We should all meet back. You can meet back here in an hour and a half, or back at the hotel. I'll be there.
We might want to have more questions for Alston, so this might be the spot for it.
Oh,
or
yes, of course.
further interest. We might look at the bodies in a different light once we've seen the locations. I suppose, Artemis, you should visit Susan Morales rather than sending one of us fellows. Other than that, any ideas about how we should break them up?
Well, I'm interested in going to Joseph's trailer.
I have one concern about handling all three residences at once. We don't know exactly what's going on here. And I don't know if going to these places where something unnatural has occurred alone. Any
That's a fair
Well,
point,
and-
Moss.
I think we should go in
And-
pairs.
Yeah, pairs are.
And
Theirs is reasonable.
Sherlock is your resident forensics man, so he's
Well,
valuable
how
at
about-
every place.
Well, how about we pair one egghead with one more
Authority figure.
violently capable, let's say.
Sounds fine.
Yeah, yeah. I could use some muscle at the trailer park. That sounds like a rough neighborhood.
Well,
Yeah.
Bishop looks like he'll fit right in, so
Yeah.
maybe Bishop will go with Sherlock and I'll accompany Artemis.
All right.
Okay,
that sounds
so how are you splitting this up?
Well, Moth and I, unless you have an objection, I think we'll go to Cheryl's residence first, and then maybe try to touch base with her friend
Okay.
afterward.
Yep, that's
And
reasonable enough to me.
Sherlock
Save Oscar
and
for another
Bishop
time.
are heading to the trailer park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I will take my truck because that's where the armament is.
Mhm.
And then Axon's going to do the autopsy, and on top of that, he's going to have the medical records delivered to him. So,
Yeah. Godspeed, Dr. Hopper. We look forward to finding out after you work your magic.
Because we'll go over all of it this afternoon. Wait, what time is it now?
it's 4:30.
We'll
Almost
go over
5.
all this tonight. Yeah, tonight back at our apartment, our hotel room.
Excellent.
We'll get to the bottom of this for sure.
I did make a mistake. The victims, they're not all from around Tellerud. They're a little north of Telleride. From
But they're within
from
a
a town
few
called
miles.
Saw Pit. Yeah.
Okay,
Sounds
Saw
like-
Pit.
Yeah, it's called Saw Pit.
All three of them are from Socket.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Like 5 minutes from Telluride.
Yeah.
How big a community is that, Dr. Alston?
Well, I would say that it is definitely a smaller community. There's no entertainment up there. There's no shopping. They don't even have a sheriff.
300 people.
Yeah.
300
Well,
people
so-
would have a sheriff. 200 people.
Maybe 50
Well-
people.
Right. So 3 deaths out of a community of less than 100.
All
is
with the same
notable.
symptoms. What do you
Yeah,
think it is?
very tiny community. Yeah.
It's also striking that they're in 2-day increments, but I'm going to leave that.
I noticed that too, Bishop.
Yes.
All right, off to Saw Pit. If anybody's, of course,
Well-
realizes anything very urgent, you have our numbers.
Of
Yes.
course. Yeah, we'll keep in communication.
I mean, this whole 2-day pattern would imply that we can expect a fourth sometime this evening.
Agreed.
Excellent. So
Might be
you're
worth
gonna-
trying to find accommodations in Saw Pit tonight, but that's
It's just
That's
5
fair.
minutes away. There's probably more here. We have to eat. I think I saw Denny's.
There was a barbecue place, a barbecue joint, and a
That's
gas
nice.
station on the way.
Barbecue gas station barbecue.
that can be very legit depending on the location.
Mm-hmm. And there's also, as you drive into Saw Pit, you're getting closer to one of the mountains, and you do see there is a 1-star single-story motel also in the town of Saw Pit.
Hmm.
If you wanted to move.
God forbid.
Depending on what the investigation turns out, it might be something to consider.
Right. So Are you stopping in town? Or are you heading straight to your locations that you want to get to?
When you say town, is there more than one stoplight in Sawpit?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
I'm-
where there is to stop per se.
Okay.
Is there a town center or anything?
Because
like
I
that?
will
It'll be a
say I would
general
like
store,
an
maybe.
alertness roll
Okay.
from those of you traveling into Sawpit.
33. That is a 33.
77.
Oh, we balance each other out, Moth. I got an extreme success. You get extreme failure.
Okay.
I have a regular success.
Who's driving
And I
the
have
car?
a regular failure.
Fortunately, Artemis is driving.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
The two successes are the two drivers. That's convenient.
That is good. That is good. Because you do manage to see a man in winter clothing, cowboy hat, very gaunt. He's currently riding on a horse that is salt and pepper colored. And you're driving a FBI vehicle? No, it's just a Toyota Corolla.
Take Toyota Corolla. Yeah.
All right.
Put
Yeah,
the
he
car seat
squints
back.
at you, makes a sour face at your two cars.
A gaunt man in a cowboy hat in appropriate winter gear. Clean shaven?
No. Of course
Bearded?
not. Yes.
He looks like a mountain man.
I would say so.
All right. I'm not surprised by a scowl from a cowboy
Yeah, he
hat.
doesn't recognize us. I'm
Horse
sure he
rider.
recognizes everyone.
No respect for the troops, huh, Bishop?
No faith in authority out here.
And because of your training and your critical, right? He is armed with a revolver.
Doesn't surprise me, honestly. I mean, I'll say something to Moth, but like, it truly does not surprise me.
Just some Yahoo out here
Friendly
with a
wave
gun.
and keep on driving.
Yeah, he doesn't wave back.
That's fine.
And eventually your cars split off as you're going to different destinations. And you arrive at the address for Cheryl Cook, and it is just a single yurt at the side of at the edge of what you call a town.
Boy. Home sweet home.
Yep. It is. I don't know how else to describe this yurt.
Is it
It's
one of
just
those,
like a
like-
single room.
Like new agey or more kind of genuine? I guess.
New agey, right?
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Oh, this is some minimalist shit.
won't take us long to get through it then, at least.
Excellent. So you step inside, and it smells of herbs and spices and incense. You know the look.
Of course.
There's a lot of botanical posters, which are posted on, taped to the walls, and there's these backlights that are still on, that are casting an eerie blue glow outside of the door. So I'm assuming you're just going to look at the place.
Yeah. See what we can see.
All right, what's your search?
Mine is 70.
Jeez. Okay.
That's way higher than mine. Plenty. Base.
Artemis, you find as you look around, and you're working your way through it, like tossing the mattress, seeing what's happening. You start then going towards the kitchen area, which is like a fraction of the yurt. And you start removing, opening cabinets, and you feel knocking on stuff, and you're feeling there's a hollow false cabinet door. And with a little oomph, you're able to pull that off. And there is a lot of you've seen stuff like this before because you're a Fed. There's a lot of psychoactive substances here,
Ah. Moth, come look at this.
as well as a journal with a rainbow marbled cover.
Oh. I
Anything
see somebody's
immediately
taking advantage of
identifiable?
the recent decriminalization.
Yeah. Anything immediately identifiable among these psychedelics?
I would say everything from the most basic stuff like mushrooms, the LSD tablets to like, and then you're seeing Jimson weed.
What do I know about that?
You know that it is lethal
Oh,
when taken in too much, when you take too much.
But it's a common weed that grows everywhere.
There's even an entire pack of Benadryl.
well, I will at least text Bishop and Sherlock to be on the lookout on their end for drugs, psychedelics specifically.
What's in this notebook?
Yeah, go ahead and look them all.
It looks like
these drugs.
as you're flipping through it, looks like some kind of trip journal. It looks like Cheryl was recording what drugs she took and what visions or like effects they had on her. The final entry, which is 5 days ago, it describes the use of Jimson weed and seeing a white horse. She recounts her moving towards the horse while in her delirious state and reaching out to pet the horse, only for it to viciously bite her wrist. She then describes struggling and clawing at the horse's snout, and it let go. She instantly resurfaced from her trip.
And then she died later that evening, yeah?
Appears so.
Now you text
Wow.
that to all of us.
Yeah, I do text it to Al, especially you as well, to make sure that you're looking
Yeah,
at
and
it.
I'll send a photo of this last entry.
Okay.
Interesting.
Like
I'll
written,
type.
like written before she died. Right
I'll
before she
type
died.
back that. I'll type back that white horse is usually a symbol for heroin. Check and see if there's heroin.
There's no
I'll
heroin.
also text back. It's also a cultural symbol for death, but hey, who's counting?
Well, she seems to be on drugs. Wonder if the other ones are all on psychotropics.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to know.
The problem with psychotropics is that people concoct their own stuff, and technically, because it's not a listed substance, it's not illegal, and they get by with stripping themselves out on all sorts of crazy stuff.
Well, is there any electronic devices that have been left behind? Laptop, phone?
Not in Cheryl's yurt.
Is there even Wi-Fi in here?
I don't
Internet?
think so.
One of those like back to nature. type
Living
of-
off the grid.
Savages.
Terrible. What is this godforsaken place? Thom hit yurt. God. No wonder she did all these drugs. What else is we're gonna do to fill the time?
I'd be interested to know what her friend has to say about her.
Yeah, does her friend live in another nearby yurt? Do you have
Yes.
an address for
She probably lives. You never got an address for Susan, but you can easily
Okay.
look that up in whatever police systems, or by paying for like a premium subscription to like White Pages.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of police systems, none of these folks had like priors or anything, arrest records, anything like that, did they?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll get what information we can on Susan Morales, and if she's
All right.
doing
How are you gonna do
that,
that? You're going to find that all on your phone, or because that's pretty.
Yeah.
Okay. I will actually need a computer science roll then.
tossing that one to Moth.
I got you. 57's a pass.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely look that up, and you find the address for Susan Morales, also living in Saw Pit.
Here's a question. So have her address. Is it nearby the yurt? Is it like an apartment building?
No, it's an apartment building.
Okay. Does Susan have a social media account? Any
Roll
her
luck.
or Cheryl? 48.
Yeah, I would say so. She has some pictures with Cheryl.
Okay.
They both look very new age, hipster. Good vibrations.
Well, I mean, one of the things that I always advise people when they ask about social media is not to overshare, but most people ignore that advice. So is there anything, do they incriminate themselves at all as far as like showing pictures of them with drugs or going anywhere?
They do not incriminate themselves. However, there is a photo of them posing in front of a house or an apartment building that you recognize as being part of Saw Pit.
Oh,
In
but
their
it's not
mutual-
her. Is it Susan's address?
It's Susan's address, yeah.
Okay.
Or you can get Susan's address from the information in the photo.
Okay.
In their mutual friends list are Joseph and Oscar. Like, do they appear in their friends
No.
list and social? No.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was checking for, if there was like a party and they were all there or something.
Right, right.
All right, so you're gonna, I'm assuming you're heading
Susan.
towards the address,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So as you both get into the car, the man on the horse positions his horse to be right in front of your car as you're like pulling out so you can't move around him. And he sneers at you. And then we'll cut over to Sherlock and Bishop.
All right, great.
You have pulled
Well,
into the trailer park.
First question, does Saw Pit even have a grocery store?
I would say so, yeah.
It's like a general store sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a family-owned general store.
And there was one dinky motel.
Yeah, I
Was
would say so.
Is there a tavern?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, Sherlock, that there can't be meaningful separations between the lives of people who live in a podunk like this.
Yeah, everybody's going to know each other and bump into each other. Well, so
let me describe this first,
Sure, go ahead.
because you pull into you use a dirt road a little northwest that leads to a trailer park, and you can instantly tell whose trailer it is because there's a mailbox that's been installed out front. It's a little crooked that says J. Tackett. Outside of the trailer itself is a lot of scrap parts. There's a car that's with the wheels removed and on cinder blocks. And there's a lot of horse-themed lawn ornaments.
Does this trailer park is it just a lot with trailers in it, or is there an office?
They have
signage.
There's signage for an office, and each lot for each trailer park has its own like mini yard for whether it be grilling or vegetation people plant.
Right. They're probably small concrete foundations that are poured to set the trailers on so they don't sink between the seasonal shifts, and some gravel. And so Joseph was into horses. Let's see.
There's even let's say a 8-foot tall plaster statue of a horse.
Oh. Wow. So it's 5-ish in January in Colorado. It's fairly dark.
Yeah, it's kind of darker.
Is the office lit?
Well, you can roll a luck roll for that one.
55.
Fumble. So no.
You're assuming I wanted it to be lit. I did, so you're right. How well spaced are these trailers? And how big is this yard? Is this a dozen little households or 30 or?
I would say the lot size would be about maybe 20 by 20 square feet.
All right. So with their lawn and their trailer.
Okay. So the trailers are pretty close together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which might explain the noise complaint.
Yeah. And that's what I'm most concerned about is figuring out the source of the yelling, because either Joseph yelled and that disproves the seizure, or someone else yelled and that puts a witness on the scene.
Is the Tackett trailer taped up? Is there, police tape or?
No. Because they didn't rule for like suspicious activity.
Right. It wasn't considered a crime scene. I doubt they bothered to lock up after they took the body out.
Let's hope the local kids haven't been getting up to no good in there.
I imagine it's mostly older folk in a place like Saw Pit Trailer Park, but we'll see.
There's always punks running around, one or two at least.
Is Tackett's trailer locked? And I'm not going for stealth particularly. I'm
you're just going to walk in?
Large vehicle into his driveway and approaching the door as if I had every right to be there.
Okay. Ooh, give me a charisma ×5 roll.
Ooh.
Or a disguise, whatever's higher. Let's see that swagger.
30.
From both of us?
Good.
Whoever. I just need one success.
Hey, he nailed it.
All right, so you saunter on in like you belong. No one bothers you. And when you open the door, you are hit by a dizzying array of horse-themed memorabilia that, like, normally it wouldn't be out of place for, ranch-themed or rancher folk, but this looks like an obsession. Well, you horse posters, statues, all posted.
You said the plaster outside was 8 feet high.
Yes.
So Joseph was not casual in his interest, and I am not completely surprised to find that this is a bachelor home.
Yeah. Are these items newly purchased, or do they look like they've been here for a long time?
Oh, it's been here for a long time. And on top of that, there's just trash littering every square foot of the floor of this trailer. Junk food, documents, magazines, more horse-themed items.
I'm going to glove up, Sherlock, and I suggest that you do as well, because we are not by any means... I'm not by any means convinced that there isn't a toxic substance involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there
is a kitchenette and a bathroom to explore.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was it Axon or Artemis suggested we check the refrigerator. At any rate, let's see if there's anything of note.
You open the door, and there's a half-empty 6-pack of beer. That's about it.
Very
power's on, right? I forgot.
Yeah, power's on.
Can we turn the lights on? Cool.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it wasn't the case of the local sausage, apparently, because he was living on takeout and beer.
Yeah. I mean, just to be thorough, freezer, pantry, nothing much.
Yeah, there's some ice cream sandwiches in the freezer.
Cool.
That have expired 3 years ago.
Yeah, Joseph was living the life. No one was making him clean up.
46. We need to find out if and how he was employed. He doesn't seem entirely mentally well. All right. We should do the bedroom and the bath next. Do you have a preference?
Who has accounting?
Who has what?
Accounting.
Oh wow, I have 60.
All right, you can roll it.
Base.
Oops, those are the wrong dice. 0, 1. Wow.
Oh, one? Okay. You know that looking
Yeah.
through this shit is going to take you at least 2 or 3 hours.
Mm,
And you just got to commit to it.
yeah. I'll send a text
But that's
message to the other
that's
ones.
just the stuff in the main living area, not the bathroom. Bishop, I'm assuming you're going to the bathroom?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead. I was going to say that I'm more curious about the bedroom, and I'm going to just text the others that trailer's a mess, larger job than anticipated.
Okay. Yeah, so as you're entering this bedroom bath combo, there's piles of used tissues on the ground. There's pill packs that surround the bed, several styrofoam cups that sit in puddles of condensation on the nightstand. And yeah, there's a lot of Benadryl lying around. And aspirin. There is a horse-themed calendar that's on one of the walls.
Did he mark any dates on that calendar?
He did. 7 days ago, feverishly circled and scribbled is Invocation Day.
Invocation Day.
Yes. Yep. And in the bathroom, there is a 60 count box of Benadryl.
Okay. Group text. Joseph obsessed with horses. Joseph had an important day 7 days ago. That is one day before. And separate, still shared, but to Hopper, toxic effects of excessive Benadryl.
Yeah. What are the symptoms of an overdose? I know you're probably busy.
So Axon, your cell phone text message goes off and someone's asking about Benadryl. Do you have pharmacy?
It's like the 7th time while you're armed deep in a corpse.
I have 55 in pharmacy.
Okay. Yeah, you know that Benadryl, people in the Midwest abuse Benadryl in order to get into a delirious state where they start hallucinating while waking if they resist the urge to fall asleep.
Yeah, it's a hallucinogen. Once again, hallucinogens. And the depth of the hallucination depends on what they see. I'll have to do a little research on that, see what there's what is it called? Spirit death, not spirit death. Consciousness death, death of
ego death.
Ego death. That's what I was looking for. I'm going to screen Joseph now to see if there is signs of an overdose.
Sure. There's a high amount. So you've been doing your autopsy, so I'll give you a little bit of information. The brain, organs, muscles, they're all in sound condition. They're besides like a bit of the struggle from the not quite seizure. On top of that, you're trying to inspect for like your toxicology, which you're doing. Yeah, Joseph has a lot of signs of Benadryl abuse, but nothing involving an overdose. And as a matter of fact, there's a lot of psychoactive drugs in Cheryl as well.
There seems to be an odd cocktail of hallucinogens, including Benadryl, but not enough to cause an overdose.
But enough to hallucinate.
Well, yeah, quite enough to hallucinate.
Yeah. And Oscar, he's clean.
Oscar is clean.
Yes.
He doesn't have any inside of him. Okay. And he's the most recent.
Yes.
What's the condition of their hearts? Did they have heart attacks?
No.
That
Their heart stopped, but there's no sign of like an attack.
And I don't find any compounds in their system that would have stopped their hearts or their breathing. No. There's no sign that they suffocated. I am quite at a loss. This is quite unusual. This is in the if you look at my current toxicology reports, this is well inside the DG boundary.
There you go. Who are you gonna call?
Ghostbuster.
The Men in Black. We're still waiting. They still need to call us back.
Who are you gonna call? Men in Black.
They can't be that busy. They don't do anything.
So I will just, now that I'm more focused, I'll focus on I'm starting to I'll say to the others, I'll say, I'm wondering if there is an ancient Eastern practice, maybe amongst the Buddhists or like-minded religious folks, of going on spirit journeys and then eventually returning to the body, as long as the body's intact. Maybe in this case, the body just didn't make it. That's, now we're getting into mystical stuff, and I'll admit that my occult isn't that high.
This is some new age appropriation, perversion, drug-induced bullshit. So,
well, we don't know that it's complete bullshit. It could be something that they've tapped into that's quite ancient, and at the same time they've misused it, as you say. Like, transcendental meditation was highly criticized by actual yogis for cutting out the 25 years experience one needs before one goes on a journey. We are a little outside the realm of natural. I don't know. I'm looking down at this body now that I've cut open, and I'm hoping that he doesn't come back. That's the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah, so the doctor, he comes back with the toxicology report. And you've already confirmed this. You're a professional.
It's all stuff that would make him hallucinate.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't have killed him.
Mm-hmm.
So I will then wonder whether there's something else involved, because the drug itself might not kill you, but if it was combined accidentally, normally we would say with alcohol or something. In this case, what if it was some sort of herb or drug on the side? So I'm going to look for weird things that show up.
Okay. So I'm going to hop back to Bishop and Sherlock as you've had this conversation, and then we'll go over the Moth and Artemis. So right now, I would say it's almost 6 now. So your meeting is just been missed.
Yeah. Well, so
because you realize
what I'm curious about is I'm just imagining the piles of trash. What about furniture that's uncovered? Because people that hoard and leave their trash laying around normally have like their one spot that they kind of nestle into. Yeah. So it's not really a place to hold guests. Like, what about the bedroom? Is there really room besides the bed, or is it all clutter around it? Is there like a chair or somewhere else for somebody to sit?
There's less clutter, but yeah. Are you going to search the place, or are you going to leave?
Well, I don't really want to dig through the trash tonight, Bishop, okay. But I'm just thinking like
well, with 2 people, you can cut down to 1 or 2 hours instead of 2 or 3.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think his garbage is going anywhere. I think that we should meet up with the others and kind of have a plan of attack. I was just really wondering about if he's the one who screamed or if somebody else was in here. And just with the state of the place, it seems unlikely that anyone else would be here unless they came right in, attacked him or something, and then got out. And the neighbors would see it because they're so close. If they're able to hear a scream, they would look and see somebody walking away, don't you think?
I would imagine that from the external evidence of eccentricity that Mr. Tackett displayed, that if the neighbors were disturbed enough to call the authorities, they would be keeping an eye on the place and would have seen another party leave. I have a feeling it was Joseph in here alone. And I'm guessing that he maybe had also scored some speed of some kind, and so he was mixing that with the Benadryl, and that's why he was lucid enough to scream when his hallucinations began. And he joined the Wild Mustang team in the sky, or whatever the poor bastard saw.
Rode off to the sunset, yeah. So, I mean, my current conclusion is that it wasn't a seizure, it wasn't poisoning, and that he was the one who screamed.
That is my expectation.
Yeah, and we can dig through the garbage later. I don't think we need to get into that tonight.
Well, in particular, I think that at least two of us should go and meet Oscar Kersley's partner, because we want to verify the Benadryl connection, if possible, before the fourth victim who we're expecting tonight.
Yeah, I agree with that. Maybe there's some underground Benadryl ring where they all have meetings.
Maybe somebody figured out a Benadryl hack, and there's a subreddit devoted to this. But it seems like it has to be I suppose this could be happening all over the country, and it hasn't gotten out yet. But yeah, let's text Moth and Artemis and see if they want to go to the Kersley home. I think it would be nice if Artemis were there, assuming that Oscar Kersley's partner is a wife. It might be nice to not just have a number of men.
Yeah, so I am going to hop back to Artemis and Moth as this gaunt cowboy riding a salt and pepper horse. He sneers at you as you're in your car. He says,
What's
roll
this
on the
asshole
window.
doing?
Yeah.
"Who are you, the federales?
Yes. You're
Oh.
impeding a federal
This is
investigation.
my town. I'm the law here."
Did you know the woman who lived here?
That I did. The horse is going up to your window.
How does he appear? Aggressive?
It starts to lick you. Or attempt to.
Like friendly?
Yeah.
No, horse bites aren't like, rub his nose.
Okay.
Does the law around here have a name, or should I just call you the law around here?
Well, you've already met Fritz. And he gestures down to the horse.
Fritz is very sweet.
I am Sir Albert Schooner.
Sir Albert Schooner. It's very nice to meet you, Sir Schooner.
Yeah. You here for that hostile takeover of our values?
What can you tell me about that hostile takeover?
Oh, he starts spouting the most inane political bullshit.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, look,
what can you tell
pal,
me about...
I could listen to Joe Rogan too if I wanted to, but
who's that?
What
Never
can you tell
mind.
me about Cheryl, who lived here?
Why should I help you?
because we're the law elsewhere, and the law here should want to cooperate with the law elsewhere.
Well, I
in
don't
order
see
to-
no crime.
You've had 3 deaths in your community. Does that not concern you?
The only crime I see is you encroaching on our land.
All right. Well, I hope you have a very nice day, sir. because I've already forgotten the name. And I'm going
Schooner.
to
Albert
reverse.
Schooner.
He's Sir Albert Schooner. How could you so forget
know,
such a
that's-
grandiose man?
I'll give
The horse
Fitz
starts
a little...
to chew on your FBI windbreaker.
All right, buddy. Good to meet you. Rolling up the window.
I'll be watching you.
Oh, I'm sure you
All right.
will.
We'll see you around. What a
Drive
nut.
off. So
No
Yeah,
internet, Sir Albert Schooner. This really is the height, I think, of a white trash culture.
There's always one kook in a town, you know. Let's go talk to this Susan person.
okay. And I would assume you get the text from Bishop and Sherlock now. Just to keep
Oh yeah.
continuity.
If they're talking to us about the Benadryl stuff, yeah, I'll recommend that we all collect samples because I know they have like batch numbers attached to them.
They do.
Just to make sure there's not some weird nefarious pharmaceutical thing going on here.
Yes. Sounds good. So you're heading to Susan's. Bishop is heading to Os. Bishop and Sherlock are heading to Oscar Kearsley. Then see his partner, Axon. You've just about finished up your autopsy. So what would you like to do, Axon?
So, doing research and working on these bodies, I will contact the others and say, I found some interesting research. There is a combination. Datura strathmonium, which is gemsum weed, and Benadryl. It can, under the right circumstances, produce an extremely vivid hallucination in which those who are under the influence will encounter the deliriant deity, what they perceive as an extra outside the body entity which contacts them and speaks a deeply religious experience, which is, of course, all drug induced. There is no such deity, but it convinces the person that they're having conversations with another entity. Perhaps they formed some sort of cult. You mentioned an initiation?
Invocation Day.
Invocation Day. So perhaps they got together, took the drugs.
Well, they didn't do it on the same day.
That's true, they didn't.
He had his invocation day 7 days ago. Susan's last journal entry was 5 days. Cheryl's was 5 days ago.
Well, it
Is
would
there-
actually make sense that they would do it. It's a personal experience, so
Yeah,
Are
I
they
don't.
texting this back and forth in a group chat?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
Or a
so.
group call.
Okay, I want to check just Axon's theory that they're all this. They're like they have a group of sorts. I want to go through the trip journal of Cheryl
Mhm.
to the day when Joseph said he went on
2 days earlier.
Invocation Day.
Day.
Invocation.
Nice.
there is also a problem with my theory, and that's I can't find any substance such as this in Oscar, and he was
No
the
Benadryl?
most recent. No Benadryl, no Datura stramonium.
Completely clean.
Then I
Did
think we
we-
really should go
Axon-
look into Oscar's residence as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
After we pay a visit to Susan.
Do you,
Right.
Do you think Artemis Moth should Sherlock and I wait for you to finish that interview?
No, I don't-
Maybe pick up some barbecue and pick up Axon, and then we'll go to Oscar's place.
Yeah,
I'll be
all five of
finished
us
in
at
about
Oscar's
20
together.
minutes.
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if
Yeah. It's a nice
you guys
dinner.
are already free, then you could go pick up dinner and Axon and meet us there because we got Susan to talk to, which I guess is what you said, and I'm just
Yes.
It's a great idea.
misheard something.
Oh, I want to make sure that I tell Axon just so it's on your mind. The trailer was a complete mess. It is not a place to have guests, and the neighbors live close by. If somebody heard a scream, they would have seen somebody leave. I believe that it was Joseph who yelled to rule out a
Yes.
seizure.
So, yeah, I don't think any of them have had seizures. I think this is all brought on by what should be an overdose, an interaction between the two chemicals. Neither chemical is enough in the body to cause death, but together they might, in fact, do that. Now, I'm going to type something and you can erase it afterwards, but what I'll type is, if these individuals would be in such a case that they might be highly susceptible to invasion from the outside, if there is another entity involved that we are unaware of, whether it's alien or extra dimensional.
So
Okay.
before I forget the trip.
Yeah, you were
journal.
comparing to see if Cheryl was part of the group. No,
No. So I'll text that. I don't think your
she was experiencing
group theory holds up. Cheryl
Okay.
doesn't mention anything about Joseph or Invocation Day. Wasn't there when it
Yes,
happened.
you're right. So Joseph is the only one that has mentioned Invocation Day. Or
So we don't have any answers, solid answers yet, but we've got some leads.
Well, the tie between
Also, I'll send a text about while you're in Saw Pit, just be aware about the law in Saw Pit, Sir Albert Schooner.
Well, the way you're describing him, is he actually the law, or is he just a crazy old man running around on a horse?
Judging by the scare quotes I included around the law, he's a crazy old man on a horse.
Yes, we know there's no sheriff in Saw Pit. Axon, do you want us to pick you up before we get barbecue, or the other way around?
How soon?
Minutes.
Yeah, if you can delay maybe 15 minutes, so I can finish up.
Yeah, then we'll get the barbecue first. Pulled pork.
okay.
And is
Bug
this a
belly pig
private
farm.
thing? Is this a private thing, or should I ask Dr. Alston?
Don't
We can drop off a
let's make
sandwich.
it private.
leave the friendlies out of it, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
We're not trying to rope him in.
All right. Cool.
All right, so Moth and Artemis are heading over to Susan Morales, the friend, and then Bishop, Sherlock are going to pick up barbecue and then pick up Axon. And then you're going to go to Oscar.
We're going to coordinate
All right.
going to Oscar with the others.
Great. So if that's the case, you drive over to the apartment complex that Susan lives at. It's a small apartment, ugly brick building. It's one floor.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean,
you're there. You pull
knock
up.
on our door. Yeah.
And you can easily find out what room she's in because of the mail slots, which are marked the last name. So you see Morales and a Hispanic woman in her mid-20s opens the door and she says, "Can I help you?" "Oh my God,
Yeah,
you're
Miss
the
Morales.
FBI?"
Yes.
Because this
Yes,
is your
my name is
windbreaker.
my name is Agent Cormier with the FBI, and this is my partner. Do you have a moment to talk with us about your friend Cheryl?
And she instantly starts to cry. "Oh, I found her."
May we come in?
"Oh, sure. Do you guys want kombucha?"
No, thank you. I do appreciate the offer, and I am very sorry for your loss. What can you tell us about Cheryl?
"Oh, she was the freest spirit that I've ever met."
Were you aware that she partook in psychotropics?
She gets really quiet at that.
It is not
look,
my
we don't-
concern. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not. We don't interest ourselves in low level drug offenses. We want to know what happened to Cheryl.
We're not the DEA. I don't care who is doing what drugs. I am more concerned about bad batches of things that could be harming people that are using them.
Give me persuade plus 20 for your empathy.
Jesus. Really? What is my persuade? No.
Okay.
A regular failure, but no.
Then she says, I don't know if I should be telling you this. And she kind of retreats into herself, sinking into her couch. She was a good person, okay? She didn't do anything
never
wrong.
Doubted that. I've never doubted that she was a good person. The use or disuse of drugs does not determine your moral character. I'm not concerned about that, as I said. Did she act strangely at all in the last week or two leading up to her death?
You see her hesitate again. She wants to say it. She's afraid. You sense the fear.
Yeah.
You can try one more time, but on this failure, you're probably going to get kicked out.
I just feel like we need to press. Just to persuade. Any penalty to the persuade this time, or
no bonus, no penalty. Oh, and there wasn't a penalty for the first one. It was a plus 20.
Yeah, I understood. You'd given me a bonus the first time. I'm just making. Let me see if there was a bonus there. Right underneath 49.
So you made it?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, she said she had her most powerful experience yet, and that a horse bit her, and it felt so real. And then later that night, she must have passed, and I found her in the morning when she wasn't, when she didn't answer the door being knocked on.
Where did she tell you this? How did she tell you this? In person or
in person? She even showed me the bruise she got from her hallucination, which I thought was crazy.
Now, did Cheryl have any cellular devices?
No.
Cell phone, laptop? No.
No, she was off that. She was, like I said, she was the freest spirit I ever knew, not confined to the web, not confined to social media.
Unlike yourself?
We all have our vices.
Do you know where Cheryl was getting her supply?
She kind of goes pale. And give me a human int roll.
Both of us, or just?
Yeah.
41 is not good. She's not a computer.
Yeah. Yes. 43.
Okay, so first thing you notice as a Fed, right, is her eyes. They instantly go to a spot in the house or in the apartment where like stuff can be hidden, and then you make that connection, like guilt, because she's probably the one that orders.
Yeah.
But she doesn't say anything.
I'll do this. I'll do the high sign to Moth. Like, yeah, it's hard.
Okay. Look, it's getting late. It's almost 8. I have a schedule for a show I'm gonna put on for my followers.
Moth, you want to press?
Okay, if something bad has happened to Cheryl because of some bad ingredient for her trip, and that bad ingredients continue to flow in the community, we could have further incidents like Cheryl, and that would be a real shame. So if for some reason you find that you remember where the supplies came from,
no, I
let us know.
Listen, I didn't get her Jimson weed. Hey, I didn't get her that.
That is a common that grows commonly. I wouldn't suspect that you had.
You can tell she's getting a little more upset.
Right. We'll be in touch, Ms. Morales.
Okay. And she
Yeah, of course.
ushers you out.
I don't know. As we're leaving, like after we've left, I don't know, Moth. I know that the Jimson weed is a strain of nightshade, so it could have reacted very negatively potentially, but we know that Joseph didn't have anything. Oh, well, I mean, maybe in all of that.
No,
mess, but
Oscar
not-
didn't.
Oscar, yeah, sorry.
So it seems so.
No, it was
Susan's
Joseph, right?
the supplier.
No, I was saying they didn't find anything in Joseph's trailer aside from the Benadryl, correct?
Right.
Mhm.
So Susan thinks it was Jim Sum that did it to Cheryl. Cheryl also had Benadryl in her apartment.
She did. The Benadryl right now is the more unifying factor between the two of them.
So we'll have to see if Oscar
She had a lot of
has-
psychoactive drugs.
I mean, and it may be that Joseph just didn't keep a supply around.
I'm sorry, Alex, did you say that Joseph also had psychoactive drugs?
No, he just had the Benadryl.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Right. And I'm just going to say, for the sake of getting everyone together, you all meet up at the barbecue spot.
That sounds good.
And yeah, here you all are, 5 agents of Delta Green snacking on ribs.
Right.
Is it
and
any
mac
good?
and cheese. Mac and cheese is the most important part of any.
Yeah,
barbecue
ribs,
place,
mac and
in
cheese.
my
You can roll luck for that. Don't fumble.
Oh man, I hope it's good. I rolled a 93.
Oh,
They brought you coleslaw instead.
Mm,
Yeah, I mean,
Got your order wrong.
hey,
mm.
it's probably the only barbecue place. No, that's a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Been
not
sitting on the
not-
shelf
not so
since
good.
5 o'clock.
Correct. It's been sitting under the heat lamps.
Yeah.
well,
Gotten kind of
living in a
hard.
Hotel eating mediocre barbecue. This is adult green life.
Boy.
So I'm
Yeah,
curious.
I'm gonna say it's like around 9 p.m. now. It's getting late.
Regarding drug interactions, it's entirely possible that Joseph. Well, I don't know. It's up. You can tell me, Axon. Would you have detected the Jimson weed in his tissues?
Yes, he would have, but
yes. Yeah.
there was no Jimson weed.
So no
Only
Jimson
Benadryl.
in Joseph.
I don't think
No,
he ever
but-
consumed any plant matter, so that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But he
just
had
a lot of
Benadryl.
pills. Lots and
Cheryl
lots
had
of Benadryl.
Benadryl. Cheryl had Benadryl and Jimson. And Oscar
Jo-
had neither.
Joseph was full blown obsessed with horses. Like Cheryl just had it in her hallucination, but it's Joseph's lifestyle. He had a monument on his front yard.
Well,
Yeah.
it's Colorado. It's not that unusual.
It is.
People love horses.
No,
But
it's unusual to the extent that Joseph had a monomania.
Well,
So
I
you ever
think
seen?
if he's
Ever seen the
invoking
stage play?
something, if he's invoking something, and you've got this notion of deliriant deity, I think he saw a horse as well. So that's
yeah, and
the,
it's not recent. He's been stockpiling these possessions for many years.
No.
I think an investigation of Oscar's place might help provide the unifying factor between the three, because he didn't have Benadryl in his system.
It's
But if he has a lot of horse maybe it's a horse. I don't know.
Did Cheryl have horse stuff in her yurt,
No, she just
No.
had the man on the horse in her yard.
her yard? Do you know of any? I don't have much occult. Do you know of any horse deities?
well, as you noted, the Jimson weed was commonly used by a number of Native American peoples, and I'm sure there
Hmm.
are horse mythologies that may overlap.
Maybe. I
It's
don't actually
just
know
like
that.
Moth said before, like behold pale horse, right?
Yep.
That's from the Bible. 4 horsemen of the
Well,
apocalypse.
we have the internet
in
at
there.
our fingertips. Is there anything about
A
horse
horse
deity
deity.
in native mythology?
You know what? Of course, we haven't found any commonality between the 3 of them, except they're all dead
And it's a very
Or-
small community.
and preserved.
A very small
Somehow.
community.
I mean, there's a story as you're looking up these mythologies involving horses. There's the Pegasus.
Well, yes, Greek mythology.
Mhm.
Pegasus was
And then
created
there's
when
a Hindu deity, Hayagriva, which is an avatar of Vishnu.
Hayagriva. Now that's interesting because one thing that I did see on the Datura is that that Hindu mythology uses a lot of Datura. Some groups do use the. I'm sorry, I keep calling it by its scientific name. What did you call it? Jimson weed. It's a fairly common folk medicinal.
Various daturas are. I think Jimson weed is originally a Western plant like tomatoes and potatoes, but there are datura family plants all over the globe.
Yes. Plus a lot of other hallucinations and stuff. So,
Do we think it is imprudent to approach a presumably grieving widow at 9 o'clock?
We need to get
9:30?
access to his home.
pretty late.
But we have already determined if the pattern continues, another person is going to die.
In
Somebody
fact-
might die tonight.
Yes.
Well, Artemis, you could approach the widow alone. I think 5 people showing up at a house is a lot more imposing.
Is it a married partner? We were just said a partner.
Yeah,
sure.
married.
Their residence.
probably.
Sure, at some
Artemis
point
should
we got information from Alston about the name of the
Yeah.
partner.
Yeah, I would
Artemis
say
should
the
not go
partner's
alone.
name is Christine Kiersley.
Now, did they have
Perhaps-
social media?
Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
would say
good
so.
idea, Mom.
Perhaps Sherlock.
Are they
since he
new
knows
age
what to look for.
types as well?
No. They are people who, just from a glance, your computer science is so high. I'll give to you that they're like normal people, very active, love to hike, moved here to go hiking all the time. Very straight laced. You
Yeah,
can
he
tell.
doesn't fit. He doesn't fit in with the other 2.
There is
Could it be
There's-
no, never mind.
there is some commonality though. None of them are decaying properly.
Yeah, I was
strange.
just about to jump on that, accent. Since I mean, the body more than me. What causes people to decay? It's bacterial consumption,
once
right?
Once the body stops functioning, there's nothing to fight off bacterial infection.
Yeah.
It just
So I
immediately
mean,
goes haywire.
that had to have been part
Um,
of your investigation, right? Like, what's stopping them from decaying?
I don't know. It's almost it seems very unnatural. Something.
Yeah. Well, so they still have blood flow, but the blood is dead. They still have an immune system to fight off the bacteria.
No. It's
No white blood cells, right?
What if
So
there's an outside factor, and we're misled in one direction. We're looking for something they consumed or something they ate. What if it's something that was inflicted upon them? We've got a horse bite. You've seen a horse. What if it's some sort of an infection that we don't know?
Well, it's
What
a
it is.
bruise. It doesn't look like a bite mark. She was tripping. She probably just hit her hand on something and it correlated with whatever she was imagining.
Well, the difficulty we have is 2 of the people, it seems, take enough of some substance to hallucinate on a regular basis. They're recreational drug users. Oscar, this third most recent victim, doesn't seem to be that way, at least from we can
Externals.
tell. Maybe when we
Right.
go search
Yeah.
the premises,
You'll find something.
Well,
we'll find something else.
the original
Or
link
there's
that we
not-
had between the three
pattern
was
isn't
sleep.
what we think it is. And it may
That's
not-
true. Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Agent Moth.
Me neither. Sorry.
But yeah, Agent Sherlock just said you had the other commonalities. They were all asleep when it happened.
They were all asleep. What happened? And now this invocation day for Johnson was the day before he
Joseph.
died.
Joseph.
Yeah. And he seemed to be
Cheryl-
under the
He's the
influence of
oldest
something when he circled
Okay,
it.
right.
He had
And
poor handwriting.
Cheryl saw something the day before she died. So I wonder if Oscar, if he keeps a journal or anything, or he told his wife something. I wonder if he saw or experienced something out of band the day before he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's very likely.
It's a good thought.
And even though, I mean, Cheryl may have interpreted through the lens of her drug trip, and same with Joseph. But if there is something visiting these people or contacting them in some way, it may be that how Oscar perceived that experience could have been quite different, quite shocking in a way.
Moth, did
No.
did the Kearsleys have any horses in their social media posts?
No.
No, they're hikers, outdoorsy, but
Yep.
not equine people.
Did our three victims know each other
No.
in any way?
No, not that I've noticed. Other than they all live in this small place.
So maybe
Yeah.
passing recognition,
They'd
but
have
not
to.
friendship.
They'd have to
think
see
if
each other
if
at the
there is
market.
something- I think we're trying to focus too much on an interconnection to these people, when I think this has something to do with their proximity. If there is something unnatural, as Axon has kind of insinuated, something out there, it doesn't seem to go very far. It seems
Yeah.
that these three are connected merely by being in Saw Pit.
And
I mean-
sleep. Yeah.
Also, this could be airborne, for all we know,
I could.
because this is a small locale.
But if
Yeah,
it was
the-
an airborne infection only infecting one person
Every
dying
2
exactly
days.
every 2 days,
Yeah. I mean, it's not out of the question.
I don't think
but
this is a substance or an infection. I
There's a
think
question
it's a
I forgot.
visitation, if anything.
The question I forgot to ask the keeper earlier: did any of them have a history of epilepsy?
No.
No. Nor were they on any drugs to control
Yeah.
epilepsy. So there's no epilepsy here.
Well, and your
would
autopsy
be-
showed that they basically didn't have seizures, right? We kind of ruled that out.
Correct. Yeah.
I'd be
So-
interested to know if Oscar's widow observed any odd behaviors in him.
Yeah. Well, and especially what Moth was saying, just ask if there was anything about a horse that he was talking about.
Let's get over there. We'll hang back while Artemis, who do you want to go in with you?
I'd like
Oscar
to,
make
but
a-
if you don't
All
mind
right, come
doing
on,
the
Cheryl.
talking.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's go.
I guess I'll stay eating this cold barbecue with Axon and Bishop.
Well, I think
Yeah,
we
so
should
we'll-
be nearby. I think we should.
Yeah.
Right, that's
follow-
what I mean. I'm taking some of this with me. That's
Yeah.
what I meant to say. Takeout.
We'll sit in the car, not in my car.
No, we'll sit in my car, which
Barbecue.
again has
Your truck.
my truck, which has the armaments that should we need them.
Okay. So Artemis and Sherlock are heading over to the widow, and
Sounds
the
good.
rest are going to eat barbecue. Truck
Down the block.
down the block, of course.
Barbecue stakeout.
Love that. You bring your specialized equipment, Mr. Bishop.
You know, it's in the truck.
If
That's
you are
why.
doing, if you are doing a specialized stakeout here, sure, great. Let's talk about what happens. Because you drive over there, finish up eating. It's 9, and the lights are not on at the residence of Oscar or Christine.
Yeah. Following your
Well,
lead,
I'm not-
Artemis, since
Yeah.
you're the one bringing the
Hate to
urgency,
do it,
and
but-
I want to see it.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So you knock on the door. You can see one of the lights in the back of the house turn on because this is a single-story ranch house. You can hear footsteps approaching the door, and you hear a feminine voice saying, "Hey, who is it?"
Yes, I apologize for the lateness of the hour. My name is Agent Cormier with the FBI. I would like to ask you a few questions about your husband.
Can
It's
you hold
actually
your
quite
badge
urgent.
up to the
Yeah.
the door window? Yeah, the peephole. And you do that. It takes a moment. And a woman opens the door. She's dressed in a bathrobe. She rubs her sleepy eyes and she says, This is about Oscar.
It is.
She looks quite
Again,
fit.
I apologize for the lateness of the hour. We are prioritizing this investigation, so there is some urgency to it.
Do you think it was
May we
a
come
murder?
in for a moment?
Her eyes
Not
kind of widen.
necessarily. We have some concerns we need to address. May we come in for a moment?
Okay, of course.
Thank
Come
you
in.
very much. What can you tell us about Oscar's mental state in the days leading up to his death? Did anything stand out to you as strange or unusual behaviors?
And she answers, no. There was any big changes at all. Nothing like that. Just he's here one day and we're living our dream life, and then he's gone.
Can you describe to me, did you arrive home and find him in this state? Were
I
you in
woke
the
up
home?
next to him. And he wouldn't wake up.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Very sorry for your loss, ma'am.
I don't know what happened. The coroner, he said, epilepsy.
Was Oscar known to partake in any drug usage? This is not an investigation into that particularly. We are just trying to discern his cause of death.
No, never. We swore back in high school that we wouldn't touch that stuff.
Okay. No horse memorabilia in the home, anything to that matter.
Mhm.
Did he mention anything about a horse to you?
No.
No.
No, just from what I can tell, nothing was wrong. Everything was it was just like yesterday, and now he's not here today.
Yeah. How did he spend his last few days? You don't have to go into great detail.
Oh, we were skiing at one of the ski places. And we were
Sounds
having
nice.
fun, and now he's gone.
What can you tell me about the local resident here, Sir Albert Schooner?
Oh, he's a nut.
And just
But
generic
if you
kind of
leave him
country
enough
folk
alone,
strange or sorry?
yeah, I guess I've learned to leave him alone and he won't bother you. He hates any forms of authority and the federal government and all that.
And Oscar had no relationship whatsoever with a Joseph last name and a Cheryl
No.
last name. No.
Do you know if Oscar kept a diary or a journal of any kind?
Yeah, I mean, he kept a fitness tracker and he was journaling.
Would you mind if we looked at that?
Sure. And she comes back down with the journal, bullet journal, neat handwriting. all capital letters, just nothing odd. No weird dreams, no hallucinations, nothing.
Hmm.
And I'll take an intelligence ×5 check for you.
Oh, two.
Okay. Depending on like what happens, everything that has happened to these victims seem random.
Yes, I do.
Or at least the pattern changed with Oscar, who is the most recent victim.
Mm-hmm. Loose connections between the first two and none with this one.
Yes. Which means that whatever is causing this is evolving.
Well,
That's the only explanation, really. Something is
you know
being
what?
changed up.
Do you have any other questions? I do not.
Yeah, thank you very much for answering, Eudora, ma'am. Will you be in touch if our investigation leads us back here?
Yes. I'm taking a couple days of work off.
Yeah, good for you. You deserve it.
Yes, we're very sorry for your loss, and we appreciate you speaking with us at this late hour.
Right. It's almost 9:30.
What time did all of these people die? Side note, not asking her. What time did all these people die? Do we know that? Rough time of death. I know that's like imprecise.
Yeah,
sometime in the middle of the night.
Yeah, definitely in the middle of night. And I would even say that Axon, you've deduced it so that they probably died in REM sleep.
During dreams. I will chime in on the phone.
Well, I mean, you're all in the car together, right? Watching?
Yeah, I think we've said our goodbyes.
Yeah. Well, I did have one more question before we walk off.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask her if she had a window in her bedroom, any kind of outside access.
Yes, but the windows were locked.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I needed to know.
Yeah, we'll regroup with everyone.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts, Axon?
Well, I've been sitting here fiddling on my phone, doing a little bit of research as I was thinking about entities. The Scandinavians have a pretty vivid story that seems to have something to do with this. I mean, it just on the outside, maybe it's all nonsense, but they believed in something called the Mare, a horse deity. It's found in the Norse Ynglinga saga from the 13th century, and King Valindi, and I'm not going to try that name, of Uppsala, he lost his life to a nightmare that was conjured by a Finnish sorceress, Hulda, hired by the king's abandoned wife. A spirit that's able to be summoned up that will attack the person in their sleep and kill them. It's just the one thing that I found that seemed, if these people were attacked during a dream, it's nonsense to us, but maybe it's not because of our relationship with DG.
So think about this. People who hallucinate on a substance like Benadryl, that they kind of enter into a dream-like state, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it functions? So could it be that Joseph and Cheryl saw something in this waking dream of theirs that visited them later? They got a preview of sorts of what was coming.
Oh, I am joining the loony train. It strikes me. Well, first of all, while I'm mumbling, Law, can you map the locations of the 3 deaths in this tiny village? See if there's any geographical commonality or pattern. But if we start with the first death being on Invocation Day, then this Joseph, the horse-worshipping loner nut job who was taking heroic quantities of Benadryl, invoked something. And then the wacky lady in the yurt, who's reaching out to the cosmos, gets bit by a horse during her hallucination on a dangerous combination of hallucinogens. And then the horse, having bitten her, is empowered to go further afield. I still have a hard time with the Oscar
so it seems
problem.
that the people deeper in dreams, right? So if we assume then this kind of progression, Joseph brought this thing here. He was the deepest in dreams.
Yeah.
Then Cheryl calls its attention to her, and now it can just go after
Whoever it wants.
Now it's got a hunger.
anybody in.
Yeah, make a
Maybe
SAN
look
roll against that one.
All
If
of
we
us.
look at old,
Yeah.
Ooh.
yeah,
I passed.
failed that one. It's getting creepy.
56 is a pass.
Oh, I passed by 1. Yay.
I
Okay.
don't sleep anyway. That's what Red Bull's for.
So you're basically buying into this theory, and it is quite creepy. So it's gonna be a 0/1. 0/1.
Yeah. Excellent detective work, Bishop. I can't believe that passed me by. That the first death was the Invocation Day, and he was the most related
Not
to
quite.
horses.
No, you.
It would
you
no, it
bring up
happened.
Well, 2 days before.
So
Or
it
one-
happened.
I know. I'm saying that he
So,
was the one that
he
said invocation.
Does an invocation, whatever that means.
Yes,
That
yes.
calls the thing present to Saw Pit. He
And
then
he was
goes to
obsessed
sleep
with
and
horses,
it kills him
yeah.
first.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Well,
He
it's-
called something the day before that then killed him in his sleep. Maybe.
In his drug-addled delirium.
And then it finds Cheryl, as Cheryl was in a dreamlike state the day before she died. She calls her its attention to her, or she encounters it in this dream, wakeful dream.
Is
first.
it worth going through the hoarder's home? See if we can find out
Absolutely,
anything
tomorrow.
about what he has indicated. I'm sorry, I interrupted your thought. Finish your thought. You're talking about Cheryl.
No, I think Cheryl's experience with the horse was encountering whatever this being is, and Oscar didn't encounter anything before he died. He encountered it while he was dreaming. Cheryl encountered it before she was asleep because she was on drugs. She was in something that let her see into this kind of REM dream space while still conscious, so it couldn't kill her.
So I see where you're going.
She still had enough consciousness to resist, but when she was fully asleep, the consciousness disengaged. Then it was.
So we all need to take a whole bunch of Benadryl so we can see the horse coming.
No.
I think
we
it
can do
might
that.
We
be.
need. I don't think we wait. I think we go tonight and find everything that we taste the
Absolutely.
place. We've look everywhere, find any mention of what Joseph was up to.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we look at now, quite honestly, I'm going by old Hammer films that I've seen, but if we look back at medieval magic, weren't they supposed to draw a symbol? They invoke the demon, in this case the Mare, and bind it so that it had to obey. And if they skipped that step, then the thing just was released and it could kill indiscriminately what it wanted, including the person who invoked it. And Joseph definitely was killed by it. Assuming that it's
is
real.
Invocation Day? I mean, if you're going to go the magic angle, I mean, magic is always more convoluted than saying a magic word. Was there any kind of, I don't know, celestial event? Was it a solstice, an equinox, a full
Get out the
moon?
almanac and take a check on that
New
one.
moon.
Was it Friday the 13th? It was the 13th, right?
It was the 13th, but no, I think we need to go over to Joseph's with you need to go over his trailer with a fine-tooth comb and find out what made him think that that was the day that he had to do the thing he had to do to invoke his beloved horse
And
god.
what was he trying to invoke?
Did he die on Invocation Day, or did he
No,
die?
the day after.
A day later.
Yeah.
Well, but we're also talking about when people are found versus, I mean,
Well,
What-
so Invocation Day is the 13th.
Friday the
He
13th.
goes to sleep the night of the 13th. And by the time
he's
the
on
day
From-
of the 14th
from
gets
the
around,
autopsy,
he dies.
He dies on his body. He dies sometime in the morning of the 14th, and his body is found the morning of.
Yeah,
So
he
if
dies
you
sometime
invoke-
not
early
quite
morning.
Invocation Day.
If you invoke a spirit, you're supposed to send it away. And if he didn't send it away, then this is all weird speculation
We're not talking
based on
about
magic.
procedural pseudo magic talk.
Right.
Mhm.
Whatever he did, there's something that's killing somebody or doing whatever it is that it does to them every 2 days.
And if his obsession too is with horses, then the idea of him finding some sort of black magic to bring forth a spirit horse, maybe he thought he could ride it. But
Yeah.
Well, this is a lot of speculation,
yeah, it's just
and we can sit here
have it
speculating
in
all
your-
night. But I think we need to
We should go to it
through
now.
his trailer.
Yeah, just a heads up, since I've been on the site. There's a lot of garbage. It's going to be hard for us to fit in there.
That garbage is. I don't care if it's going to be hard.
No, I know.
Right.
His front yard is still is already a junkyard. So fortunately, we can just toss it. But the neighbors are close by, and they already did a wellness check. So we need to expect some attention.
Well, if the neighbors want to come talk to us, please
Fine.
do.
Or the
We want to know
FBI.
everything.
No,
we can.
absolutely.
Perhaps-
We should go do
perhaps
it.
then it's a good idea to do it in the middle of the night when they're all asleep.
Yeah.
from the looks of this trailer park, not everyone's asleep by 10 o'clock, but
That's true.
I'm not terribly concerned about the neighbors giving us
Not
a hard time in a village without a sheriff when we have an actual FBI app.
If it's gonna take us, but what did you estimate, Sherlock? A couple
Well,
of days to get through.
Well, with all of
2 hours.
us together, it shouldn't take too
Not
long.
much time.
We can
Yeah.
split
so
up.
if it is going to take a lot of time, we need to start now. That way, by the time we're too late to stop whoever is going to get tonight.
Yeah.
But we can figure this out, hopefully in time to stop the next occurrence.
Yep. Yeah, let's do it. Let's
So
go.
we need to get started.
All right.
Now.
Excellent time to take a bio break.
Cool.
Yes. All right. So our agents are heading to the residence of Joseph Tackett, the crazy horseman. Oh, who's dead. So you head over to his trailer park. All 5 of you, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And there's a few lights that are on. Some people are still awake.
I think that we
That's
should
fine.
systematically go through and move everything over to one side that we know is nothing.
Well, there's
Or
not
book.
much room to make piles inside. If it's just garbage, we could throw it out on the lawn.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it
Open up
takes you.
trash bags, start scooping which trash, throw it out as we go.
At this point, it's about like 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And you are heading into the house. And
I recommend again everybody glove up. We still don't know
Yes.
what's icky.
Mhm.
I think it's contractor bags that we put outside neatly, not just chucking stuff out the window.
Right.
And I would recommend maybe a little bit of black light usage. He's got a lot of tissue in the bedroom
Yeah.
and stuff. I mean, he was not a social man as far as I can
Have any
tell.
luminol? It's not what you sprayed to make it glow. I don't know. Whatever.
I
Well,
have luminol, actually.
I have an evidence collection kit, so I'm assuming
You
there's
probably
probably
have
the
luminol.
basics.
Wouldn't be
So
surprised.
yeah, I could start in the bedroom if you want to answer those questions right away.
okay, so as you are making noise, one of the lights goes on for an adjacent trailer, and there is a older woman. She has a sagging face, and she's like, "What are you doing at this time of night? Can you be
We'll tr-
considerate for our community?"
We'll try to be quiet, but we need to clean this place up tonight.
Give me a persuade.
Police investigation.
All right, no need to make the persuade anymore.
Well, I got a 12 anyway. So, yeah.
It's like, can't you wait?
I'm sorry, ma'am. We'll try to be
This is
quiet.
a time-sensitive manner. Did you know this man who lived here?
Yes, he was a real odd one.
Anything in particular
In what
stand
way?
out about him?
I mean, he always take trips and come back with horse memorabilia.
Collector.
Whatever. I'm going to bed. Keep it down, or else I'm filing a report.
Were you the one that called in
With
the
the
noise?
police.
Yes.
The noise about his the wellness check?
Yeah, he started screaming in the middle of the night. So
Can you
Anything
recall
in
what he
particular or
screamed?
just screaming.
just screaming. Sound like a dying animal.
Well, ma'am, sorry for the inconvenience. If you feel the need to report us, come over and I'll take down something and we'll investigate ourselves.
Okay. Well, slams the door shut. Light flicks
All
off.
right. Yeah, that's about what I was expecting. Anyways.
Okay, so it takes you, I would say, about an hour to bag stuff up, be extra quiet. And it's now like 11:30, and that's when you find a laptop.
Oh, Moth, come have a look at this.
So it is a personal laptop. And when you open up, it looks like it's definitely encrypted. And for someone of your skill level, it might take 4 hours.
Okay. And the password isn't I love horses?
No.
Then it's
But
not
yeah, you can
password.
do this, no roll, but you just need to commit time.
Yeah, I'll do
Well,
this
we'll
point.
bring it back. We'll
Yeah.
bring it back with us.
All
By
right.
horse lover?
I'm not going to
Right.
manually type all these in. I'm going to have the computer do it.
Yeah.
My
Well,
computer.
The top three, I was,
Horse with a
Surveying the-
0 instead of an O.
yeah. I assume we find at some point in the normal process, bank statement, pay stub.
Oh yeah, sure.
The bat next door said he took trips, so maybe there's some airline information about his travels.
Yeah. So the there's a lot of donations.
He makes donations.
Correct.
Oh, okay. So this guy was living on a fixed income from an inheritance or something
Yeah.
and feeding his obsession.
Yeah, and he's like monthly donations to the new Sneffels community.
Sounds like some religious
Yes.
weirdos that might have.
SNEFFELS.
That's a sweet. That's isn't Snuffles Chokel the mountain in Iceland? Does Snuffles mean volcano?
It's not spelled that way, but yeah.
At any rate, we have a reason at last to think that he had an idea about Invocation Day that came from somewhere else. And right, the Scandinavian connection that you were anticipating, Axon, has better support.
Maybe. Yes.
Right. So
I'm-
you basically find all this, right? And you bag up the stuff. You're just going to leave it outside and get out of there.
Someone else.
Well, in the process, I was going to look around and see if there was any place set up in some way to do an invocation,
No,
a prayer corner.
there is barely any room to step on like ground that isn't covered in trash.
I'd like to start
symbols
looking into
hung up on the wall.
Snuffles community.
Yeah, okay. So you do a precursory like search of it. Definitely seems like some kind of new age commune. There's no address, but from pictures, it's posted up in the mountains.
We take what we've got back to the hotel and work on it in the morning.
Well, so I mean, I'm not too sure how this would work with time constraints, but I am interested in trying to find evidence of other people being here, like maybe fingerprints or something. I'm trying to think of ideas.
Okay, so you're dusting for fingerprints?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Besides
Okay.
you, but you're wearing gloves. There's no
Yeah,
other
exactly.
person
Okay,
who really
so-
visits this guy.
Yeah, so he's a reclusive hoarding hermit that travels a lot and makes donations. It's very strange.
Did he smoke?
Most likely.
Okay.
Cigarettes.
So, cigarette ashtray, all the same brand. Then yeah, he doesn't have any guests.
All right, so what are you doing with this information?
Might be bedtime.
Yeah, let's
Yeah, we
go
need to
back.
get Moth's computer on getting this unlocked.
Yeah, I need to work on this.
We'll correlate it all in
staying
the
up.
morning.
I don't intend to sleep tonight.
Yeah, sounds good.
Are there any? I'd like to look and see if there's any FBI files on. I'm on the New Snuffles community.
Okay, well, you need your FBI laptop or an FBI computer,
Yeah.
which are located at FBI like buildings. So because they're secure.
Okay.
Make a call.
You make a call, yeah.
Yeah.
Drive down to
It's a little
Denver.
late.
We are not close to Denver.
Doesn't she have like an access code? She can get into it.
Yeah.
She's a Fed.
VPN in.
Federal employee. I can tell you that does exist.
Right.
That
I will
VPN
say
tunnel.
that you will be using your official credentials. So
What's that? Sorry.
you will be using your official credentials,
That's true.
and you're like not supposed to be out here.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's true.
Yeah, let's go back, rest, correlate this all in the morning, and find out who might die tonight.
That's the thing. The next information point we're going to have is the fourth deceased.
Yeah.
But we'll have them on the day of the
I'm
deceased.
staying up.
Yeah.
I don't intend
Okay.
to be information point 4.
Moth might hit the jackpot.
Yeah, all right. So why don't you lose a decent whoever's staying up, right? Are you is there any resource you're going to be using, Moth, to stay up?
We're not locals.
That
No,
that Red
okay.
Bull.
Yeah, you like caffeine.
Yeah,
Red Bull.
Red Bull.
Just like 1 or 2 Benadryls.
No, Benadryl will knock you out.
Yeah, but the Red Bull.
Fight
Have an
through it
extra
and you
one.
Meet the horse.
On
Okay.
second thought, to stay awake, I'm gonna just down a whole bottle of Benadryl.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, are
I
you?
was
Knock it
thinking-
back. No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
I mean,
We might be able to
Sure.
score some cocaine.
all right. So you are
Hey, I
going to
know there's
just
powder on the
down Red
mountains, but
Bull.
is there any powder around here? You know what I'm saying?
All right.
White powder everywhere.
So you crack open the Red Bull, the blue lights just blasting your face. It's probably the only light on in the hotel room, and you're just going to work, coding away. You're not going to lose any willpower because you are using caffeine, these stimulants. Is anyone else staying up?
No.
All right. Then all of you make a D100 roll if you are going to bed.
47.
75.
59.
19.
Okay. Artemis,
Yo.
you find yourself opening your eyes in the middle of the night. And outside that window, you can see the glint of these two pupils, and you can see the skin of a white horse. There's pins and needles throughout your entire body, and you can't seem to move. What are you doing?
Trying to call out, trying to move, trying to do something.
Okay, so yeah, you struggle to move, you blink, and then it's there, right in front of you, inside the room now, this horse, and you're trying to move, and as you watch in horror, the horse's skin begins to melt. There's layers upon layers of its muscle and sinew peeling away, and as it moves, you can see these ghost-like movements that overlap on each other, each frame of motion lingering momentarily. The equine features melt away and reveal underneath something more predatory. I'd like you to roll me a sand roll against the unnatural.
50. My sand's got 70. I'm good.
Okay, roll d6.
1.
Okay. It is getting closer and closer to you. What are you doing?
Calling out for the other agents, struggling. I'm trying to remember if Axon gave us a name for this thing. Try to call out its name if I could.
Okay. Yeah, so you're struggling and you can't move your body because of the pins, needles, this paralysis. And you can give me a power roll with a -20.
-20?
Yep.
I bet that's a fail. Let me double check. Yeah, that's a fail.
Okay. So as the horse gets closer and closer, once again, you can't move, and you start to get eaten violently, starting from your feet. And you try and try, but too late, you realize that it might have been good to try and wake yourself up. You are dead. We will cut to the morning.
Have I made any progress on this laptop?
Yes, you've cracked it, and it's
I'm in.
it's like 4 a.m. I have a character sheet for you, Holly.
Nope.
Please tell me she gets to play Sir Albert Schooner. Please, God.
One can only hope.
There's a new sheriff in town.
So you will be playing the friendly now.
Okay.
Right. So the information on this laptop is information on, it looks like an email. And it contains just the phrase, "Please be ready to present your wishes to our guest." And there is the date and the GPS coordinates for what appears to be the community. Then there is a Polaroid, not a Polaroid, there's a PNG file on top of this email with 40 people in front of a fire pit. And you can see Joseph standing on one of the edges of this photo. And from the metadata, this was taken 10 days ago, or 11 days now.
So this was before Invocation Day.
Correct.
And we have a geo, there's a pin of where the...
Yep.
Okay.
GPS coordinate.
Perfect. I will go start.
Waking people up?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
next everybody. Breakfast at Denny's?
Yeah. And then your heart sinks as
Well, first of all, if he tries to wake me up at 4:15 in the morning, I'm going to say something very rude and close my door.
Mm-hmm.
I assume
Go
it
to
was
bed, Moth.
So Bishop tells me to fuck off. Sherlock tells me to go to
Yes.
bed.
Uh-huh.
Axon gets up, or I hear him moving.
well. Is it 4 in the morning?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
4 in the morning.
I was like, Jesus
I'm
Christ! why
perfectly
didn't you
awake. I
just-
have caffeine. I'm ready to go. We got things to do.
Artemis
Yeah,
does
well-
not answer at all. Deep sleep.
Wheezy.
Artemis.
She's just asleep. I want to go back to sleep too. You can tell us at 6 a.m. or 8 a.m. what you found.
All right. Everybody else got up?
No, because we can't function unless we get some decent sleep.
All right. So no one has decided to answer your calls, Moth. What are you doing?
I want to listen to police scanners. Like I'm waiting for a body to get called in, basically.
Okay.
And
So
that's what I'll do, waiting.
are you
for
going
everybody
to
else get up.
caffeinate more in order to stay up?
Yeah, because I don't want to die.
That's good.
This thing kills people in their sleep. I'm not going to sleep around this thing. No way.
All right. You can take more stimulants to keep going, but since you're on your second dose, you crack open your fifth can. Lose a d6 willpower.
3.
Okay. Yeah, you're getting a little on edge. And it's about 6:30 a.m. that you hear calls on a police scanner for discovery of a body in Sawpit. And over the police scanner, you're hearing the name, the person's name is Blake Taylor. They call for an ambulance, calls Dr. Alston up, and we'll actually cut to Alston as the ambulance arrives at the morgue. You've been called to the morgue.
Mm-hmm.
This is someone who is in his early 20s, like 22. He actually has a cast over his leg. And the same symptoms that you've discovered from the three other victims.
Okay. Did the agents give me their numbers? Because if so,
Yep.
I will make calls regarding that.
I'm trying to wake everybody up after I heard the police scanner.
Okay, so yeah, you're smashing on the doors of Axon, Sherlock, and Bishop, and Artemis.
Hey, I got news, and there's another body. Get up.
All right. Good morning to you too. You get
The
any
sun's
sleep?
just rising. It
Got a
doesn't look
text
like
from
he.
Dr.
No, I'm
Sleep.
glad you're alive. Artemis.
No answer.
Jesus. Bishop.
Yeah.
Artemis isn't responding.
Pound the door by the hinge side where it's going to be loud but not buckle.
Uh-huh.
Artemis, we need you up and at 'em.
No
Artemis. All right. This is an
She's
inexpensive
in the shower.
You don't hear the shower running.
These doors are hollow core. Place is cheap. I'm gonna hip, the
Does anybody
door
have criminology? You could pick the lock.
Criminology, I would accept that for sure.
I have a little bit of criminology.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
Okay. So what percentage? If it's at 40 or above, I'll allow it just to.
Oh, I got
I just-
50.
Okay, then
Oh.
yeah, you pick open the door. No problem.
Moth can beat me to it if you passed a roll.
Thank you,
No, I didn't
Sherlock.
even try. I let you.
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
important is that door is now open, and laying in bed is the body of Agent Artemis.
Son of a bitch.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Pull the sheets off. Any marks on the body?
Same symptoms. No
I'm
marks
making a
at all.
sand check.
Yeah. Yeah, you can roll
Yeah.
sand for that.
Yeah.
Oh, I passed. 63.
Okay, two.
All right, that's going to be 1 on a pass and
It's fair.
D4 on a failure.
I am going to try and revive her.
Okay, so you try everything in the book. Nothing.
I'm going to project this point of loss.
Okay. To who?
Onto my wife. 2. So that's 2 willpower gone. Well, can you half a 1? Is that even a thing?
No, you're just losing the 2 willpower.
I just got a text from Dr. Alston. He says that there's another body.
So I got 2 tonight. Unless this is a coincidence, and it's not.
And the other one's in Saw Pit, so
Yes.
it's not localized anymore. I mean,
That's
or
correct.
Artemis died of unrelated.
Or it's infected. And I mean, again, we haven't verified that these 3 people weren't in the market in Saw Pit at the same time.
There would have been a lot more people dying, though, I think.
Yeah. It just breaks our pattern.
Or where we have no pattern.
Well,
What do we
I'm going to have to tell Alston that that one of ours has passed too.
Okay, how do you respond to that, Dr. Alston? Shit.
I'll say that I'll send the ambulance so they can retrieve the body, bring it back.
Do we want to do that, or do we want to call Yang and have Yang relocate this situation? Just for
Does Artemis have a family?
Probably.
We don't know.
I never discussed it with her.
If she did, then it would be more kind to them if we had Yang handle it, I assume.
Let's give Yang the option because
Moth,
we're
you
also...
saw a car seat in the back of my car.
Yeah.
Damn. That's brutal.
Oh.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
That's right. Right. So we need to have Yang.
I think we call Yang, and
Yeah.
Artemis's
sure.
body is
We're just gonna. You can lock that
reduced
door
to
up again.
ash.
We're gonna put the do not disturb sign on it and punt this downstream.
Okay, so you didn't call Dr. Alston and report the body of someone who is not who they say they are.
correct.
Right.
And we'll message Yang saying we have a KIA Artemis.
Okay. Are you going to call him or are you going to text him?
Yeah, I'll call.
Okay. So he answers. He says, this is Jeff. But this is Yang's voice. How is the yard sale going?
We have quite a number of made a number of promising sales. We look forward to concluding the yard sale hopefully in the next 48 hours.
Okay. Should I bring
Unfortunately,
out
we
some
had
of the other product from the back? Is that necessary?
Not right now. We did unfortunately have a patron leave early.
I'm really sorry to hear that. Was it Anna?
Yeah. Anna left.
Okay. Just send me your address and I can have people try to cheer her up.
Thank you.
Handlers roll insanity. Let's go. This job is getting to him. All right, and I'm assuming you send the address for the
Yeah.
body.
Mhm.
And everything was the same. I examine her, of course.
Yeah. Died in the middle of REM sleep.
No bruising, though?
No bruising.
So that's been unique to Cheryl so far.
Why?
It was
You ask yourself why.
Yeah.
I think it's because I think Cheryl again was in a conscious state of sorts.
Yeah. I think
That-
you're onto that.
Like it didn't attack
That's why
her
it had to
dream
bite
self, it
her.
attacked her physical self.
Well, but she passed in a REM state. Is that not what?
Before
Excellent.
her friend, when Artemis and I went and talked with Cheryl's friend, Cheryl said that the trip where
Horse bite
the horse was
happened
seen bit
before.
her in the day, and she
Right,
showed the
right.
bruise to her friend.
Mhm.
what are horses afraid of?
Loud noises.
Sometimes rats.
Basically everything.
Now I have a GPS. Like I got into Joseph's laptop. It seems he was at a community event of sorts. The bonfire at this GPS
Oh.
coordinate up in the mountains.
So we have a
11
location.
days ago.
So new sniffles
Before
happened,
invocation.
and then the invocation happened. All right.
Correct.
So do we want to have Axon? Do you want to work with Alston on the new body and follow up on its provenance while the rest of us visit this cult?
Yes.
I'm going to jump to the conclusion that this religious community that doesn't have an internet presence is not entirely up and up.
Well, when we look for them on the internet, was there like an address? You said up in the mountains, but is there anything we can relate to the GPS ping?
I have it. No, this photo. You see this photo?
Yeah.
On this guy's laptop? Whoever took this photo didn't disable GPS tagging. So it's a photo telling us where it was taken, which is this bonfire site up in the mountains. This isn't from the internet per se.
Yeah, and in the background, there's definitely like little
Like
houses,
dwellings, yeah.
shacks that have been set
This
up
is
like
a
a commune.
spot. They
Commune.
took their own photo and emailed it to each other, and now we have where it is.
And there.
Well, sorry,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Well, I just before we abandon Artemis, just to be thorough, I don't think that it's really going to lead to anything. I want to check the window, see if it's locked,
Oh, it's
and look outside for any kind of footprints.
no.
Okay, but yeah, so there's basically 3 leads that we need to follow, right? The new autopsy, the new victim, and the cult.
Yeah, the 3 of us are going into the mountains. Axon's going to stay here with Dr. Alston.
Yeah, we don't think that anybody should go to the house of the new victim.
No, what are we going to find there?
Well, I
don't know.
think Axon will take Alston to there
We'll go
after
there.
I don't think they're going to find anything new in the body. We
Give
don't
me
see
a
that.
luck roll, Moth,
One never knows.
as you are you're approaching a bit of a breaking point with your substances that you've been abusing.
71 is a fail.
Okay, that's actually really awesome because you're feeling a little lightheaded because you've been pounding those caffeine. You're feeling a little delirious even, and you look at Artemis's body one last time just to like maybe say a few prayers or whatever or what have you. But when you look at Alston, give me a sand roll because you're not seeing a peaceful body that looks like it's asleep. You're seeing something that has been torn to shreds.
Oh, I passed.
All right, let's one.
Oh, good. Jesus.
But everyone else, they don't see anything like that. They just see Artemis's body.
You're losing it, Moth. I get it. You're
What's wrong
scared,
with
but
you?
people need
No,
sleep.
no, she's been eaten.
Yeah.
There's no
It's a
blood.
pulpy, bloody residue.
No, she's been devoured. Her
But
body's
it's
not really there.
but then you're like losing that vision because it's like it's pulsing in and out. It's faint.
This
right?
is what happens when you take too many drugs to stay awake. You're hallucinating.
But look, it's not a hallucination.
I've examined her thoroughly. She's right there.
No, Axon. Are you serious right now?
Yes.
Do you recall anything I've been talking about? Look, Cheryl was on her drug that made her kind of trip out and dream, and she saw the horse as her waking self. And now here I am, having a bit of a caffeine crash, a little in and out of it, and I think I've entered that kind of semi-conscious state and saw the true nature of what happened to Artemis, and now you're here just telling me that I'm just hallucinating?
Oh, my God, he's broken through. Get this man some Benadryl.
I do think, well, first of all, let's quietly leave Artemis's motel room, relock the door, have a quick conference before we make our ways away. I want to get an idea of the distance to this compound. I want to compare the GPS indicator of that photograph to Google Maps.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to.
So this compound is located on Last Dollar Mountain, a bit north of Sawpit.
Only a bit north.
Mm-hmm.
You said it was a bonfire, right? Are there any buildings in the picture, or is it completely outside?
There's a few like shacks set up.
Okay, great.
Is the photograph at day or night?
Photograph is at afternoon.
What do the other participants look like? Are they garbed unusually?
So the people in the photo all are garbed in handmade, hand-stitched clothing.
Oh, so we've got a Midsummer bit going. Cute. Did they have their bonfire on a snowy day, or what was the weather like on, I guess this is the 11th?
Oh, yeah, it's been pretty clear in terms of weather. It hasn't snowed for maybe 3 weeks.
Median age?
Median age, I would say mid-40s.
These are all white people?
I would say so.
The huts look like they were made a long time ago, or like they were made by people who didn't know what they were doing?
A little bit of both.
So would
There's
that
a
put
progression.
Joseph as the youngest member? Like he might be the newest recruit?
Yeah, I would say so.
All right.
There's a bearded man standing in the middle of the photo. He looks like he is positioned in a position of power in front of the group, and he looks the oldest.
Is it the same beard as the crazy man?
No.
Okay.
This is like full growth, untamed
Nice.
by the wilderness, by civilization.
When Moses type.
Cult leader.
Yeah, there's a few cabins and some tents.
My God, I just had the thought that to ask Artemis to look and see if she can find a match on the FBI database, and
Too late.
too late.
Right. So Axon, please keep. Oh, so how long a drive is it going to be to these GPS coordinates?
It would be a hike. It'd be a drive to a specific location, and then once the roads or trails became non-existent, you'd have to hike.
I'm going to write. I'm going to text Dr. Alston and ask him where he wants to meet. If we're going to, are we going to still look at the body?
I'm assuming I have the body in the morgue.
Yeah, and
Okay.
as you're like in the morgue, you're taking information in, right? And you're a physician, so like I'll give it to you, right? This body, same symptoms. You have to mark it as some kind of epilepsy and this group really should get their hand on the situation. Maybe it's time for you to step in. But the only obscure thing that you would ever pull up from this person who already has a cast on over their ankle is the fact that Blake Taylor actually broke his ankle earlier yesterday when he was riding a horse. He was a new horseback rider, and he, in the report from urgent care or the hospital or whatnot, he actually hurt the horse and then in retaliation threw him off, and he broke his ankle.
Huh. Well, I'll share that with Axon. I'm assuming Axon's on his way here.
Yeah. Another horse-related connection, but nobody else seems to have any horse-related connection. Let's go. Let's take a look at those. Let's do an autopsy.
You find basically the same things.
Basically the same thing.
But no hallucinations. No hallucinatory drugs, no substance abuse at all.
But also no deterioration.
Yes.
Well, I have a procedural question. Do we want to wait for them to do the autopsy and go into the mountains as a team?
It'll be about an hour and a half.
Or do we want to go ahead, given
that's really up to you.
Well, that's
you guys could go get breakfast. But...
Well, that's what I was saying, though, is if we want to investigate his personal life, but we could skip that step if we do want to go together.
Oh, yes, I suppose we could do the questioning part while they do the cutting part, and then we can all go to the mountains together.
Okay. You won't find much at the residence of Blake Taylor besides that he was found dead in the morning with the same symptoms.
Can we actually Agent Moth to sleep it off for a couple of hours while they do the autopsy and we go over Blake's house?
I mean, Moth's kind of delusional and afraid to sleep, right?
I don't need to sleep. I'm fine.
You're right. They'll get you when you're asleep.
You're only going to become. It's only going to be a worse sleep when it finally gets you if you don't.
No, we know if we get it first. We get it and I don't sleep, and it could never get me.
Yeah, Moth, I get you. You're a logical man.
Maybe that's see it.
Well, you're hallucinating like a little, right?
A little. But it was just a moment.
It's like running out.
Maybe we'll need a glimpse.
Yeah. Well, at this point, we're all going to last longer than you. You're fading fast, and it's a gamble, right? Artemis drew the short straw. Who knows who's going to happen 2 days from now? If you sleep now is when you're going to be safe.
Remember, you don't have to outswim the shark. You just have to outswim your friends.
Precisely.
So your call.
You don't have to swim. You can fly.
Jesus. Do they still make Jolt Cola?
Ooh,
No.
I don't think so. I think it's illegal.
I mean, why? Are you trying to find stuff that will keep you awake or put you in a certain state?
It might be helpful to have on hand, honestly. I mean, I'm not ready to resort to it yet, but
Okay, so you're thinking about it, and hey,
Yeah.
Cheryl had a stash. There's also the Benadryl you found. There's convenience stores where Benadryl can be found.
Well, we don't want to
Yeah.
go to sleep. We want to stay awake.
yeah,
Opposite
but
effect.
they're tools, Bishop. We
There's
don't know
what-
yet.
This is not to
You
make
want
you fall
meth,
asleep.
right?
This is not. I mean, we can get no-dos in any truck stop, and
Yeah.
energy.
that's
Okay,
not
so you're going to
an
find
hour.
stuff that will keep you awake,
We're gonna
not put you in a delirious state.
we're gonna have a little pharmacopoeia at hand in case we need to not sleep.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
find ourselves suddenly needing to stay vigilant.
Well, I mean, we've just talked about how Cheryl was able to see it coming as a warning sign. I think there might be some validity to keep some hallucinogens around. Like, I'm not saying we take them right now, but it just might be helpful later on when we understand what we're up against better.
No, I don't agree with you there.
Okay. That's fine. We're a team. I'm just voicing my opinions.
Something to consider, though, is that we're not really here to investigate these murders. We think we're on a lead. I don't have to finish up this autopsy, and we don't have to investigate Blake's.
Yeah,
we
we're
need to
just
go up and see what
gathering
that cult is all
information on
about.
what it is. Yeah.
We think the cult is really responsible, or something's
Well,
going
and
on up there.
if we're taking Moth at his word that he was able to hallucinate some grisly scene there, then what are we saying? There's like a dream dimension, some parallel reality that his consciousness is bleeding over into. That's what I'm saying the use might be. If we can only see the things, if we can see the threats when we're on some kind of substance or in some kind of altered state.
The Aborigines definitely believe in a dream world.
So
It's a
we have
lot of
hash
literature
browns
on-
and coffee. You guys
Great.
go and look at the cops and determine a corpse and determine that it's the same. We go to Blake's residence and determine that it's not interesting. He doesn't have a horse sculpture. He doesn't have a pentagram on his rug. And then we realize that we can go to the mountains.
We meet up at 9
Hell yeah.
a.m.
Good plan, Bishop.
and go from there. And maybe Moth should try to get at least a little rest.
You can try
I'm
to
done
talk him into it.
convincing him.
Moth,
Just remember, if
can
you
give
see
me
a
an
horse in
alertness
your
check.
dreams, punch the horse in the nose in the dreams.
29 is a failure on alertness.
Okay. Yeah, so you definitely think you see a horse following your vehicle, a white horse.
Yeah.
Being followed.
Sorry,
Maybe
thunder.
the solution to all of this is just a nice glass of warm milk.
Oh, what is this? Some sick game to you, Axon?
So
So what are you doing with the friendly?
I'm going to tell him that I have an appointment and I need to get out, and I'll leave him working on the body.
Okay.
What? I'm confused by that. Meta game wise, the friendly
Oh
is
yeah,
here.
I was thinking.
All right.
Well, do we bring the friendly in with us?
Do
I
we let
suppose we-
Holly keep playing this game? I think the answer is yes. We should bring him. Maybe he can see the horse too. I'm not crazy.
Do you hear that,
All right.
Sherlock?
So
You're
then
the
let's
ones
switch it to
sleeping.
this. As we are doing that last autopsy, I tell him, I start the conversation, I know that you realize something very weird is going on here. And I will
Always been
explain
peripherally
it.
aware of the strange goings on of the people you work for. Yes.
Well, I'll let you in on a little bit. Something really strange is going on here, and you seem to be handling yourself pretty well. So we think that there is a cult up in the mountains that has invoked something from the other side, and the thing is killing people, or the cult is killing people and making it look like it's some sort of dream thing. But why don't you come with us? We're gonna storm the Swedish cult.
If it stops bodies from showing up in my office every few days, yes, I will join you.
All right.
Right. So you all head up to the base of the mountain, right?
Yeah, we nailed it.
So you are driving past Saw Pit. Are you going to pick anything else up?
Cigarettes.
Because right now you just have everything in your car, which is your rifle, bishop, and then
Oh, I've got an arsenal, but
yeah, you've got
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
know,
unless
we
we want to get some drugs for the road. I mean,
Do you see any white horses, Doc?
It's
What if when we
Colorado. There's
slept-
horses everywhere. Are you
Yeah.
okay?
No.
What if
no,
when we
I
slept
mean,
we took?
I mean, like a white horse.
Yeah, whoever has medicine, you can roll this as you're observing Moth.
Yeah, I got an 09 in pharmacy, so
Okay, then yeah, Moth is definitely in a delusional state because of his
Okay.
lack of sleep, and that might be why he is just seeing things.
I've already figured that out. But at the same time, what
Okay.
if there is some sort of spiritual connection and he is seeing something? Best keep him drugged up and use him for whatever he's good for in his drugged up state.
I
oh,
suspect
for
that
sure, he can be our canary.
Yeah, he's our canary.
I suspect that he feels guilty about Artemis's death and his failure to be a more effective agent in time to save her, and that's
Yeah.
why he's attempting postponed suicide by refusing to.
Okay, so you're heading straight to
Handler-
the mountain then?
Yeah,
Well,
so
Handler.
I'm driving my SUV. We're Artemis is no longer driving,
Correct.
Mhm.
so we need a second vehicle.
Okay.
I don't know who somebody should volunteer.
Handler, are there any substances readily available that will allow a person to sleep without dreaming?
Not readily available.
In point of fact, things like Benadryl make REM sleep harder to achieve.
Well, we
You know,
want to.
True.
That's
Once
true.
you
But if
stop
you
it
resist
entirely.
taking Benadryl, if you ingest Benadryl and then resist the sleep, then you start
things get
becoming
weird.
delusional.
Yeah.
Surely I have access to stimulants that are medical
yeah, sure.
grade stimulants.
Yeah. Right. We already have a case of Benadryl in case people want to go that route. It's not hard to get energy drinks in 2023. And we have a licensed medical professional or two, so we can kind of pharmacopoeia it up. I'm more concerned about what the creeps in the mountains are doing, and whether any of you have reasonable weapons proficiency. I have some useful material.
I am very good with a shotgun if you happen to have one. I have a pistol for myself, though.
Just have regular firearms.
Man of science.
20%.
I fight people digitally, where they're far away from you.
Yeah.
Can't
Give him a
you
cyber gun.
with their dream horses.
Yeah, I wouldn't arm him with the spitball shooter at this point, or a potato gun. All right.
Can't get me.
In terms of hiking ability, we should have stronger parties in the front and back, and we should have eyes on this GPS, and we should have the people in the middle of this group watching the hills in case they have sentinels of some kind. I imagine they're relying on their insularity for protection, but if they have willingly unleashed something, they might be anticipating an incursion.
I would like, if it was possible, I would have liked to have taken some tranquilizers with me on the way out, as Axton did brief me on the fact that this was a cult we were encountering. So hopefully I could have grabbed some of that.
Hell
from the
yeah.
office.
Let's go.
Cool.
Nice.
Sure. All right. So you are a little
Those better
south.
not be horse tranquilizers. Whose side are you on?
They totally are, aren't they?
So you're on Last Dollar Mountain. You're at the base of it,
Well
right?
done, but dog.
And there's an empty dirt parking lot feeding into a single hiking path, which will lead you to the GPS coordinates. Along the trails, the view is nice. There's coin-operated viewfinders that are along the path. And it's quite pretty because it is early in the morning. No one's really here. But the trail, because the trail ends halfway up the mountain, and you'll need to proceed the rest of the way without the assistance of a trail. And with the GPS device and the coordinates, you do that easily enough. So as you are climbing up this mountain, what are you all thinking?
Where's that horse?
I'm thinking
about what I've gotten myself into.
Where's that son of a bitch horse?
Right. And you've got your weapons out, Bishop and Sherlock?
I don't know that I'll be carrying. Well, do I have a shotgun? I don't think you had one for me, did you?
I do not have a shotgun in my rig.
Okay.
Yeah. So my pistol is holstered, but at the ready. You know, I can pull it out at short notice.
Yeah. All right. So eventually you get a little closer to the site, and you're seeing the tops of houses and log cabins throughout the evergreens or the trees, and the smell of death just hits you. It's on the wind.
what if the whole cult has committed suicide like that Heaven's
Branch
Gate?
Davidians. Yeah. Or
They
Well,
knew
it'll
it
make
was
the
coming.
investigation much easier, won't it?
maybe
I mean, if
Horsey
they're
got here
properly
first.
rotting
Better-
enough to carry
better-
the smell of death, though.
Better let the flies get you than the horse. They knew that.
Do you still see
Yeah.
that horse, Mothy?
So
It's
Moth, we'll get to
somewhere.
that, but I'll explain what you see here at the New Sneffels community, because you're just about cresting the hill, and it looks like there has been a mass unaliving event, and there's just decay everywhere, litter, people clutching paper cups that have been stained green.
Jesus, it's like Jonestown.
Yeah.
Those,
And they all have printouts on the bodies of this invitation to this invocation day. On top of that, there is one person who is in pristine condition, and that is what looks like to be the leader from the photograph. And that body is near the fire pit. He's covered in lacerations and bruises, but you, Agent Moth, you're seeing same thing that you saw with Artemis, just a bloody
This
corpse.
one's just like Artemis, eaten,
Yeah, give me a sand roll,
made
please.
into mush.
Everyone gives me a sand roll for seeing like all the bodies,
I passed
So-
that Santa roll.
and you can give me another sand roll, Moth, for seeing the nature of this cult leader.
I passed that one too.
Okay, so it's gonna be a 1 for your seeing the bodies on a success, and a D4 on a failure. For seeing the true nature of this body moth, it's going to be 1d4/1d6. So 1d4 on a success.
Okay, so I lost 2 from that. So for a total
Yeah.
of 3.
So I'm curious, how many bodies? Like a dozen? More than that?
There are, you count 39.
Wow. Okay. That's,
How long have they
So-
been dead? I'm assuming since the invocation day that
You think so?
yeah.
and they're all
Where-
rotting and dead.
Yes.
No.
Do these
not
people live
this
out
one,
here?
Not the one that was
Yes.
eaten by the horse.
How come none of these people have been reported missing? This is
Because
I
they
think
were
they
an
lived out here.
isolated mountain cult.
Yeah, it looks
Is-
like
is
they live out
there-
here.
okay. There's like dormitories. Got it.
Yeah.
I'm
And
curious
as you
if Joseph
search the
came
pile,
here.
right? I'll take a search check because you're looking around and getting all this information.
Where's that horse?
Wow.
14.
Yeah, you find yourself a double-barreled shotgun.
Nice.
Just leaning against one of the trees. That's
yeah.
about it.
That's
New
handy.
hypothesis. What if the bodies that aren't decaying are somehow allowing the horse to continue?
You can give
What if
me a medicine roll.
What if we
It's not
burn
cause
the
of death.
bodies that aren't?
And
Oh,
Moth, you
3.
can give me an alertness roll. I'm asking for a lot of rolls here, but
20 is dead on. For
okay,
alertness.
we'll string together the narrative here. Because you're looking at these bodies, they obviously died from poisoning.
Right.
There's trace amounts of Jimson weed in the cups. So you can assume that's the cause of death. However, Moth, with your success and alertness, you come to the sudden realization that whatever this thing is, it's nesting here. Because out of the corner of your vision, coming past the log cabin into your line of sight is a white horse.
Son of a bitch, this is where it lives.
It starts to trot towards you.
Give me that gun.
Can we see it?
No, hell no, you can't see it.
I am trying to grab that double-barrel shotgun.
All right, he's
Bishop's
lunging
rifle.
for the
I am-
double-barreled shotgun, Bishop. Are you going to give a delusional man a double-barreled shotgun?
It's coming right toward us.
I think we got to fight him on it. I don't think we can trust that.
You
No.
son of a bitch.
I know,
You want
sorry.
the horse to get me.
All right, it starts to charge at you.
What horse? There's nothing, Moth.
They don't see that shit. Right. So as it charges
I'm
at you, its
I'm
skin
grabbing
starts to slough off.
I'm grabbing
Give
this
me an
gun.
unarmed to grab it against whoever's holding the gun.
I believe that's me at this point, right?
Okay. Give me an
27 is a pass on unarmed.
Give me an unarmed.
I got a 54, which is also a pass, but his 27 sounds better. He could take
No,
it.
54
No, but
is
yours is
better.
higher. That's how Delta Green works. You beat
Yeah.
me,
Really?
and you're gonna kill me, you bastard! Give me the
Oh,
gun.
man.
Okay, you can give me a. You can try and dodge this if you'd like.
Yes, I don't. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, but it's charging. Its skin is sloughing off. It's
30 is a dead-on pass
okay.
for dodge.
34 out of 40. Okay, that's bad for you. Okay, so how much health do you have?
10.
10. All right. You have 7. 7 damage. So that's 3.
Ooh.
You have 3 health left. As in your vision, your arm's just torn off.
So I just start screaming.
Yes, and on top of that, Moth's arm, that the one that he perceived that was torn off, his left one, just starts getting covered in lacerations and bruises, right in front of your eyes.
Bastards!
So you can give me a
for
sanity
the
roll.
horse, you traitorous
Yeah.
bastards! You wanted Armitage to die. You wouldn't wake him up.
I got
And now
an
me.
11 on the sanity roll.
Or we
I
said
guess
they
I'll-
were all taking sanity rolls.
Yeah, everyone besides Moth.
Yeah, I got an 11.
Okay,
I got
failed.
to 99.
I got
okay,
95.
yeah. Take a D6 on a failure, and take a 6 max on a fumble, and 1 on a success, because
Yeah.
what just happened?
I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's-
guess I'm just going to start blasting the air above him.
Okay, yeah. So you're like trying to shoot at where he's pointing.
Yeah. Oh, it's
It does
double bow,
nothing. It
right?
does
So it's
nothing.
just
It
the
does
2.
nothing.
Yeah.
I'm going to yell over at Agent Bishop and say, knock him out. If you knock him out, he won't dream. He won't hallucinate.
We're actually going to be in combat order, so yeah, you're yelling that out. Sherlock, it's your turn. You use your turn to fire.
Yeah.
You like Moth. You see the gunfire. It goes through the horse, but you're feeling the horse, and you're like trying to bash it off, and you are hitting it, and it is reacting.
Can I add one small thing to my turn? This is asking a lot, but
Okay.
so I didn't want to interrupt earlier, but just in case he was right and there was some kind of dream world, can I pull just a small handful of penetrals out of my pocket and down him?
Okay. As a someone with medical experience, that takes minutes to take into effect.
Yeah,
So by
but
that
still,
time,
want to
it's
get it
gonna be
down.
way too late. So yeah, you take a shit ton of pennies.
I mean,
Let's
I
go.
fucking hope it's not too late, but yeah, now's the time.
All right. Well, Axon, it's your turn.
Well, I
Yelling.
don't know what to do, but I'll yell at Bishop. Perhaps if we knock him out so that he's unconscious.
Okay.
Dr. Alston, do you have any drugs that we could
I
knock
have
him out instantly?
tranquilizer.
Okay. Yeah. So
Knock him out beyond REM sleep. So that he
Moth,
doesn't
what are you
dream.
doing? You just had your arm torn off.
I am screaming
Yep.
again in pain. I am trying to get a gun still
Okay.
in my
It's yours.
crazed pain.
I'll give you my
Insanity.
pistol.
Okay. Yeah, sure. You grab the pistol. You can make a firearms check with a +20 since you're point blank.
36 is good.
Okay, roll D10.
2.
Yeah, it lets out this whinny that's not quite a whinny. It sounds like a motor engine as it roars, and it backs off. And you can see it scamper going behind one of the cabins, but you know it's still there. You can hear it breathing heavily. All right.
It's back there.
Alston, what are you doing? You're hitting him with the tranks.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him the tranks.
And
I
everyone just
don't
saw
know what is
away
going
from
on
me.
with this group.
everyone saw
you
Moth,
stay-
right?
You stay
Fire
the
into the
fuck
air
back.
like a madman.
What do you need? What do you need me to roll for this? Because
Are you trying
he's
not to get
losing it.
shot?
Huh?
Are you going to run in with this crazy person with a gun?
Well, she did hers while he was doing the other thing. So
It's true. That's
Trying
still
to
a
get
risk.
him behind him, like where he doesn't notice me. To do
All right, give me an unarmed or a
He's kind of-
melee attack.
crazed.
Of course he's crazed. He's delusional. He's hallucinating.
Unarmed base is 40. Roll 15.
15? Okay. Yeah. Give me a con roll. Stay to resist this tranquilizer.
15.
All right. I guess you're still up just
You
for a
hyped
little
up on
The doctor
points.
was in on it.
longer.
You were skimming him to the horse. And
All right, Bishop, what are you doing? Guns are being fired.
Yeah,
It is-
really randomly. It's extremely disordered. But I did see the wounds on Moth's arm are very much like the Moses
Very real.
asshole,
Yes.
and they appeared suddenly and magically. So
Mhm.
there's shit that I can't perceive, but also these idiots with firearms. I'm astonished to see Alston jab Moth. I'm going to soothingly tell Moth we need to get him into a safe position and grab him under his arms
Okay.
so that the pistol he's waving is behind me and not somewhere dangerous, and pull him toward either the closest hut or the hut that I think the guru lived in, like the one that has decent
Yeah, that'd probably be the
walls.
lodge
Yeah.
closer to where the horse currently is.
I'm gonna start pulling him toward the lodge and say,
And
we're gonna get
You're
you in.
all trying to give me to the horse.
We're
You
gonna
evil bastards.
we're
Artemis trusted you. I trusted you.
we're
The
taking,
horse is hiding behind there. Don't you see, Bishop?
You hear it.
It's waiting for me and you.
Is this freaking you out, Bishop, even though you're a special operator?
You know, it's really
You just
hard
screamed at.
because the doctor suggested I should knock him out, but I know that unconsciousness is not as easily achieved in reality as it is
That's
in
true.
movies.
Joker hold.
Yeah, I'm gonna shift the pull to decrease his oxygen intake.
Okay. Right. Let's see if you kill him. Let's see. Rules for knocking out.
I assume it's an unarmed?
Yeah, you can roll unarmed.
Well, he's not trying to
Regu-
do damage. You know.
regular success.
All right. Deal 1 damage. And because Moth reached 2 HP, he goes unconscious. So you just... And I'll give that to you because you're a special operator. Any more would have killed him.
What's wrong with
We're
him?
still in the order. So Sherlock, what are you doing? You are slowly feeling not good.
Yeah. I'm trying to be as alert as I can, fight the medicine, looking around
in
for
that
horses.
case, you can give me a con roll.
Okay. And just telling people 21's a pass. We need to Moth is fucked up, guys. We need to stop his bleeding or something.
Okay, so what's your con times 5 roll?
My con's 40, I rolled 21.
Okay. So yeah, you definitely feel your heart start to irregularly beat. There's a visual haze that you have. You're starting to get anxiety. You feel like you weigh 2 tons.
Mm-hmm. Having a real hard time reloading the shotgun.
Yes. You get a -10 on all your rolls for now.
Okay.
And if you're hearing this horse whinnying and it's coming from behind the lodge, it's faint. It's almost like
where he's
dream.
being drugged?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bishop, I just took a whole bunch of Benadryl, man. The horses in that lodge are behind it. It's over that way. Just like I was saying earlier, the drugs let you see it. You took
all right.
Caffeine or fucking whatever. Yeah.
And we will switch to Axon. What are you doing?
So listening to the two of them say that, I'm going to run over towards the lodge.
Okay.
Since I'm unaffected by the nightmare because I'm wide awake, and I'm going to go into the lodge and see if there is some sort of magic, some ritual symbol, something that's allowing this creature to be here and destroy it.
You think it'd be that easy? It's not.
You
don't find anything. You do find an M1 carbine as you under one of the sofa cushions.
All right. I'm going to grab.
You also
the
find a what do you call it? A farm that has been set up inside the cabin, and it's growing Jimson weed.
Yeah. I'll grab the carbine and I'll give it to Bishop.
Well, Bishop's currently dragging Mr. Moth, and it took you some time to find the carbine, so you're running out to get to Bishop. Okay. I want to go to Moth, who's asleep. Roll a luck roll to see if you drift into sleep before unconsciousness or not.
25 is a pass on luck.
Okay, then you just straight up get knocked out. No dreams tonight. Very nice. Alston, what are you doing? People are going crazy, firing into the air.
And Moth is very injured. Is that correct?
It looks
you
like
were yelling at me, Sherlock. Yeah, he's injured. Yes. I'm going to go help Moth.
Okay.
The man shouting out invisible things, arm got super messed up for no reason. Yes. Very weird.
No. First aid does not help you.
Yeah, how are you supposed to deal with this?
Yes, that's fair.
And you're just puzzled. Bishop, what are you doing? Axon is running towards you with a gun, ready to hand it out, but you're still dragging Moth closer into the cabin.
And I've already got a rifle slung over my shoulder, so I don't need another carbine. I was hoping that there would be something in that lodge that told us what we were dealing with. Instead, I'm just going to... I assume that the magic horse will have a harder time getting him inside. I've also got the emergency medical kit, so I'm going to start basically, if there's a desk or something, put Moth on it and wrap his arm up so he doesn't lose any more blood. And ask the doctors to look at his eyeballs or whatever and see what.
Yeah, they check his eyeballs and he's not in REM.
Right, not moving at all. All right.
But Sherlock is looking a little worse for wear. And you hear the sounds of that horse getting louder and more clear. And you hear it start to move from behind the cabin to where you are. And then you see it. But it's no horse. It's this abomination that with stripped flesh. So you can give me a sand roll as you see this come around the corner.
Man, I passed it, but I kind of feel like I shouldn't.
It's a D6 on a pass, so you can...
Okay. A 5. Wow, that might be breaking. No, I'm 1 away from breaking point.
Well, you can also spend project onto a bond. So you can roll a D4, take that off an existing bomb score, take it off the sand loss that you just took, and take it off your willpower. Should you wish. Otherwise, 5 is fight or flight, where you lose control of your character.
What else is willpower used for? Is that something I should consider?
Staying awake?
Yeah, I think I'll take the fight or flight.
Okay,
I might be making a mistake. I don't know.
Would you, like I said, you lose control of your character, but you declare how you freak out. So it's either fight, flight, or freeze. What are you doing?
Fight. I wanna be kind of like the vanguard for these guys as long as I'm awake, blasting the thing and shouting where it is.
Okay, cool. Right. So what does your mental breakdown look like? As you are firing into the cabin and around the cabin, blasting out windows.
Yeah, I'm just announcing every single thing that the horse does. Just, oh God, guys, it's terrible. There it is. It's huge. It's coming at us.
Shoot the horse.
Take the Benadryl. Take the Benadryl. It's the only thing that'll save us.
Okay, so yeah, give me a firearms roll.
Oh man, 98.
Okay, so you miss it. A bit of the buckshot that you fire grazes it, and it does look like you hit it. Whereas when you were just firing into nothing, like anything happened.
And I'll shout that like it hurts it because I'm on Benadryl. The guns work.
And now it's gonna attempt to kill you. So you can give me a dodge roll. Actually, no, you can't. You're in fight or flight, but so you're just straight up fighting.
Yeah, stand my ground. Cool.
Oh, I guess your leg's coming off.
All right.
Again, that happened last time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you scream. You can see instantly his right leg get covered in bruises and lacerations. And Sherlock collapses to the ground, still screaming, firing into the air. Bits of the ceiling are being blown out. Axon, what are you doing?
I'm going to take the carbine.
Yep.
And I'm going to go over to the cult leader who isn't decaying.
Sure.
And I'm going to blow his skull off.
All right, you do that.
Point blank.
Yep.
I think
bone fragments, skull, they go everywhere.
As I'm yelling out loud, I think the bodies are batteries that are powering this. That's why they're not decaying. So I blow the head off of this body.
Yeah, you do that. Alston, it's your turn.
Are there any other bodies that are not decaying?
No, the rest of them are decaying.
Oh yeah, the rest
Sherlock
of them are in my lab
screaming.
back on the mountain. I cannot see this thing. I have no skills and weapons. I am just trying to keep Moth stable, alive. Like I feel like that's my job as a doctor. As I'm trying to keep this dying man alive.
Yeah, we can no roll required. You already rolled. Bishop. It sounds like Sherlock is being killed.
Yeah, Sherlock's wasn't wearing bathing trunks though. I can't see. Maybe
that's
I see
true.
Blood on his trousers.
Yeah, blood starts to leak out.
Yeah. I think and Moth hasn't worsened since he was knocked out.
Correct.
Yeah. So the horse can't hurt me because I'm awake.
Yep.
So I'm going to speak soothingly to Sherlock as I approach him so that I do not get a face full of buckshot. Luckily, he's probably unable to reload.
Yeah.
And I'm going to choke him and bring him in here for medical care.
Okay. Yeah. Give me an unarmed.
And I'm going to really talk to Yang about the stability of people he sends me out with. 19 is good.
19 is good. All right. Sherlock, night-night. But let's see if you drift off to sleep before you get knocked out. So give me a luck roll.
All right, cool. I've been rolling pretty bad these last couple times. 29. I did it.
All right. So no rem.
Perfect. Thank
You
you very
knocked
much,
out.
Bishop.
So that leaves the three of you alive, conscious.
Not taking a little Jimson weed on our tongues to be haunted by this thing. So the lunatics both thought they could hurt it when they could see it, but they were not reliable. We obviously, cut Sherlock's trouser and see that his lacerations and bruises are very similar.
Yeah.
And Axon's blasting the head did not prevent that assault on Sherlock.
We don't know.
Right.
Well, you
It
still
had
heard him
effect at
scream
all.
after
Yeah,
you
the
fired
attack
into
still
this guy's
occurred.
head.
But we can attempt, let's see if we've got a signal. Alston, you can authorize perhaps someone at the facility to cremate those potentially contaminated bodies. And that will give a test to Axon's theory.
I'll
There is,
call my assistant. Yes.
yeah. And I'm going to start a more systematic search through this compound to see if there is any indication of what these maniacs were basing their horse cult on. Because there's got to be some place these ideas came from.
Okay, so you call your assistant, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your assistant's name?
My assistant's name is Lacey.
Lacey. She's here for clinical, but you kind of dismissed her because of the gravity of the situation. But she answers, and she's like, "Dr. Alston."
Yes, the bodies that I had marked for autopsy recently, all four of them, immediately, highest priority, they need to be cremated.
Are you sure? We didn't fill out the paperwork.
They are contaminated. This is now a matter of national security.
Give me a persuade.
Oh dear. Oh my God. Oh, one. Finally, these dice come through.
Okay. Right away, Dr. Alston.
Great.
That means we need to call Yang too. That's what I was just doing right now. I'm texting him with all of the information that we know so far in case none of us make it.
Yeah. Okay. So you're texting him? What are you texting him?
I'm texting him. Let's see. They're not serving coffee at the coffee shop any longer. We've all got botulism. Two of us are sick in bed, and three of us have got it, but we might recover soon. There is a very unwholesome female running the place, has a face like a horse, and we don't know how to keep her from doing what she's doing. Any suggestions?
Axon, did you in any way indicate that Artemis's body should be destroyed? Your own theory is that they're batteries.
Oh, destroy Artemis's body. I'm just that package that you received earlier uh, uh, needs to be unopened and fed to the flames.
All right, you just get hit with the the 2-letter okay period, and there is a message that makes your heart sink. So roll sand. Just say, that package was destroyed in damaged and destroyed in transit about an hour ago.
I passed my sand.
Okay, 0. And it also sounds like the bodies were cremated by this poor nurse on clinical.
Okay. So far, nothing's happened. Well, we don't even know. We can't see the fucking thing.
Correct.
Well, the boys are going to wake up. I mean, Moth's not going to wake up for a while because he was
he's got
running on
sprinkle
nothing.
Yeah, Sherlock, why don't you give me a con roll to wake up?
Yeah, let's see. This is an overdose roll, right?
Yeah.
32, I passed.
With a 32, you pass.
Yeah.
And you wake up. And this thing is back. It rounds the corner.
It's right there. It's right there.
And would you like to dodge or fight back?
I kind of want to fight back. I'm not sure how I'd be dodging with one leg.
Yeah, fight back.
Bad horse.
So yeah, you wake him up, right? He wakes up and just starts screaming at something. He's looking at something that rounds the corner.
I got a 35 and my unarmed is 60.
Okay. It did roll higher than you. It rolled 60 out of 60. Okay. All right, I'm not even going to describe it because I'm just going to describe what the others see, because they just see your head stop, get covered in bruises and lacerations, and now you're in a peaceful sleep.
Nice. Good luck, guys.
So you're dead.
What?
Oh, that's what they see.
Yeah,
you probably saw something really bad.
Right.
Worse mouth.
We're not going to wake up Moth to have him tell us what Sherlock looks like.
You can all roll sanity again because
he's got a whole bunch of tranquilizers in him.
Yeah, he hadn't slept for 48 hours, and then he got tranquilized, and he got choked out. So Moth's not snapping up any second.
Yeah, Sherlock. Those of you who succeeded, take 1 sanity. Those of you who failed, D6, with the realization that you might have just gotten someone killed.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're not responsible for his death. The thing is,
so
we tried to save him by knocking him unconscious.
In the period during which the bodies were being burned down in the town.
The bodies are gone.
Agent Sherlock woke up and was clearly still affected by this event.
Correct.
I have not found anything in any of these huts or tents that tells us one word about what these fuckers were doing.
Yeah, so you basically find... what's your history?
I have a little. It's one of the few things I put something else extra in. I have 30.
Oh, that's enough. Yeah, you find a brochure called the White Horse, which tells of a Native American legend about wish-granting spirit horse. However, with your 30 in history, this is bogus history fabricated decades ago for a tourist trap. So that's not even...
So these cultists were just fucking themselves up on poisonous plants because they believed in some bullshit tourist legend.
Yeah.
And they opened a fucking door. Well,
what if belief has something to do with it?
Reality is consensual.
Agent Sherlock wasn't able to do anything to it when he couldn't see it. When he could see it, he said that he was doing damage to it.
That's
Maybe
correct.
you have to believe in it in order for it to show up.
And you also heard Moth see Sherlock fire at it, but nothing happened. But that was when Sherlock was not under the influence.
Sherlock couldn't see it. You can't kill it unless you can see it. And I don't want to even suggest that we all get hyped up on Benadryl and try to kill it.
There doesn't seem to be any other way.
Move back to California.
The logistical problem for me is that without any artifact or text that indicates in a meaningful way what's been released, the fact that it's gone from killing periodically to expansively, given the idea that this Blake kid who died last night, in addition to Artemis, didn't have anything to do with Benadryl or horse magic, we might...
Comes at you in your REM sleep.
Yeah, anybody who dreams is at risk. So, are we sufficiently convinced by what we just saw happen to Agent Sherlock, whose name we'll never know, that we're willing to sample that Jimson weed and shoot our way out of here? Is there only one white horse?
Or do we retreat and let Delta Green send in more advanced agents with knowledge of dreamlands or whatever to deal with it? We've already lost half our team.
With civilian costs rising.
Yeah, how are they gonna explain away the civilians that are gonna keep dying?
Well, they have a whole department for explaining away stuff like that. We would want to kill the entity first.
Okay, I mean, maybe you can explain that when you're looking down the barrel of a gun.
I can't just abandon the people that I have a duty to serve here.
If we can't save,
you're a doctor too.
But if we can't save them, except by getting more help, if we all die here right now,
every night more people in my town are dying, and you want to just walk away from that?
I'm not a coward. I'm saying that somebody's got to survive to bring in.
You are not convincing me.
There is an entire organization that deals with this sort of shit. And if we die, they'll never know what the hell was going on. They'll send in more agents.
You were just on the phone with the person that
I told them what I could. I told them what I could. Well, that doesn't mean that I have to now die.
I'm walking over to the Jimson garden.
There's some of that green smoothie that was
yeah, and I'm just gonna like swirl my finger in it and flick and say, if you're not going to join, get away from the gunfire.
Give me that too. You go back to
my lord.
Go back to California then. Be a coward, Dr. Hopper.
Go for it.
Okay, so they took this very lethal concoction. And I know Bishop took one finger lick. Alston, did you just drink the whole thing?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming I would understand how lethal this is.
Yeah, you know it's lethal.
Yeah.
Corpses all over the place.
But you also know that if you don't take enough, you might not hallucinate. Good. Unless there's some other way to become delusional.
I'll try to tread that line.
And there are other ways to become delusional as a doctor.
I don't know that I'd have any of them on me right now.
Sherlock probably does.
Oh, that's true. He did have a shit ton of bennies. I will take the bennies then.
All right, but there's only enough
question is this-
Benadryl for either you or Bishop.
Sounded like Bishop was already in on the concoction.
He only
Wow.
took a lick.
Oh.
It's a shame we don't have Narcanol to bring us back to sobriety.
And it's the standard.
Mr. Bishop, you seem to know what you're doing with a weapon. I am more of a liability than anything else. You take the bennies. That is a guarantee. I will roll the dice
Right.
on the concoction here.
Holy shit.
Well, I mean, I've just tasted it, and it's bitter as all fuck. This is some very alkaloid nonsense. I'm not in danger until I can see it, as far as we can tell from what our brethren have gone through. And I've taken Benadryl to sleep on planes before. It's not very immediate.
But have you taken 400 milligrams of Benadryl?
I certainly have not, nor have I mixed it with Jimson weed. But I'm going to see whether the Jimson weed makes me throw up my guts before I add anything else to the. We're going to take it. We're going to take it in measured steps.
Okay.
Dr. Alston, if you were going to act as a spirit guide and tell me where to shoot,
Okay,
it's possible
very
if we take different approaches, we can double our chances of efficacy.
What is Axon doing? Are you just watching in disbelief?
I'm not disbelieving. I'm watching.
Okay. There's about to be gunfire, so I don't know if you're going to be in cover or not.
Well, they're going to be firing at least towards the lodge. I'm behind them. I'm not in that direction.
Okay.
Oh yeah, let's go by the fire pit. And Axon, you should probably find, a large rock or a double set of walls if your intention is to stay out of gunfire and perhaps bandage us up afterwards. I expect we'll be firing mostly high, as horses are larger than people.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, you take a bit of the last dollar smoothie. It's bitter as all hell. But yeah, you start to feel woozy, heavy. You're also taking the Benadryl?
Again, if it doesn't,
No, it's not enough. You need
Yeah.
more.
All right. I'll basically I'm gonna like carefully prepare the weapon beforehand.
Okay. Yep.
So that I don't have a hard time making sure I have sufficient firepower.
Right. So, and you are
And
loading
then-
your carbine, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Roll luck for me.
I'll have to take the shotgun Sherlock had, I guess.
69.
Okay. Your carbine is not fully automatic.
Fair enough. It's a pity I can't use the holographic sight to see the magic horse. So yeah, I've got there are
Yeah.
spare magazines, so I make sure that there's somewhat handy.
All right. Are you sitting down to stabilize yourself, or are you standing up having taken 400 milligrams of Benadryl?
There are rocks around the fire pit, I assume.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm going to brace myself against a rock next to the corpse of the headman.
All right.
I'm
You're going to let
alternate smoothie and Benadryls at 10 minutes.
Jeez. Okay.
So that I have a little bit of lead time to see how bad it gets.
All right. Give me a con roll. Alston, you're also taking the smoothie?
Yes.
Yeah. Give me a con roll.
22.
Oh,
I'm assuming that's a success.
14
Critical success.
on, so
Yeah.
Yeah, you're holding
Ooh.
it down. Your body starts to involuntarily like shudder. And then you're hearing a horse. Where are you, Alston?
Oh,
Yeah, if Bishop's
You should-
against the rock in the middle near the fire pit, where are you?
you should
not
be
far from Bishop.
inside that
Yeah.
firing circle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
so
should
you
be
don't get
behind me.
crossfire.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you're seeing this gallop. You're starting to hear feeding. as right where the body of Sherlock is, this skinless equine creature turns its head upwards and looks at both of you. So this is for seeing it the first time. You can give me a sand roll.
Boy, I'm handling this shockingly well.
Oh shit!
6.
I was doing well. I just rolled a 97.
All right. Well, it is going to be a D6/D10 sand loss.
That's
My God, my dice are on fire right now.
that's a 9.
Oh.
Stay
All right.
down, friends.
Yes. Well, it doesn't matter. You'll have a mental break either way, right? The maximum
Yep.
is 4.
Yeah.
Right. No, and yeah, my break was 52 and I just got to 50.
Ooh. Ouch.
Okay. If you survive this, we'll talk about a new disorder. Anyway, you've got your gun ready. You're dizzy. You're trying to bring it up, and you see it start to gallop towards you.
Yeah.
And it snarls. And when it opens its mouth, these tendrils come out ready to feed. Are you fighting, fleeing, or just freezing up in this time of pressure, Bishop?
The last lucid noise I made was to tell Axon to get down because I know that.
And your voice is just slurred, so. And that is when the gunfire probably opens up, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so Axon, what are you doing? It's your turn in the initiative.
I'm trying to believe in the horse to
Okay.
see it, but
How?
I am also moving away from the fighting.
Oh, okay.
I
Nice.
can see where they're pointing the guns, so I'm trying to say, okay, it's got to be there. That's where it must be. They can see it. It must actually be there. It'll make a ripple in the air. I'm just trying to convince myself that I just have to look harder and I'll see it.
Yeah, no rule required. It doesn't work.
Okay. So I'm moving away from where they are while they're firing, if they start firing.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're going to start firing. Alston, it is your turn.
All right. Yeah, I'm taking a shot.
All right.
Pitiful base firearm.
Hey, you got a shotgun. So you've got a double-barreled shotgun that's loaded up.
New 73.
All right, so you fire, it starts to charge. Bishop, you see it charge towards you. Give me a firearms roll. As the world is spinning, your sight is just replicating like a kaleidoscope as you're tripping fucking balls.
First roll is a 17 under
Yep.
60.
Okay, nice. All right, so you basically fire off like, let's say 5 or 6 shots. Give me a damage roll.
A 9.
9, very nice. Okay. Yeah, you hit it. Blood just splurts out of it. And it's still coming, though. And it is coming for Bishop. So it's going to open up its jaw way too large for whatever creature this is. Almost like a gulper eel. And it does hit you because you did fire. Take 5 as it tears into your torso. Yeah. Your torso starts to bleed. You're seeing that Axon. Axon, it's your turn. You're just getting away. You're
muted.
I saw him get hit.
Yes. He gets knocked to the ground, kicking up dirt. His torso is covered in blood.
I'm taking cover just in case there's a stray bullet.
Yeah. Nice. Moth, you want to roll a con roll to see if you want to wake up?
Yeah.
Okay.
26.
All right. You open your eyes. You just see something bearing down on Bishop. You realize that they never took away your handgun.
Yeah, you take this, you horse bastard. I want to get as close to it as I can before
All right.
I fire.
Yeah, you know what? If you take the aim action this turn and you move closer, I'll say you get a plus 40 next turn.
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, because point blank, taking aim. Alston, something is just on Bishop, tearing away.
I'm gonna
You still have one
get up
shell in
to
the
it
shotgun.
and like do a point blank, like just place my gun up against it. And fire.
Okay, yeah. No roll required. Yeah, you blast. Roll 2d8 damage. And Bishop, you can see as your torso is being torn into, the rock right near your head just bursts with a buckshot, and it almost penetrates your skull. But you're good. How much damage you do?
10.
All right, it screeches out once more. Bishop.
Well, it's on me. So I'm gonna sort of try to get the muzzle into the undercarriage of the skull.
Oh, okay. No roll required. Roll damage.
I get to roll 1d12s. It's so fun.
Yeah.
8.
8. Okay. Yeah. Just chunks of gore and flesh is just screaming at high frequencies is just fills your mind. You're having the psychedelic trip of your life. And it is going to just keep on just tearing and shaking its head, getting it deep into your guts. 7.
All right, not dead yet. Down to 3.
All right. And Axon, you are still in cover. There's
Nope,
a chorus
I'm
of
watching.
gunfire. You're
I'm
just seeing
peeking out and
like
watching.
2 people fumbling around with guns and just firing them in a complete.
Well, then I see Moth.
You see
coming
Moth
out.
stumbling out of the lodge with one handgun, trying to steady his aim, but it's all bad. It's going bad. Are you doing anything else?
Nope.
All right, Moth.
80.
80. Oh, okay. So yeah, you're fucked. You're just you stumble. The force of the handgun like pushes you to the side. You almost trip, and it is going to be Alston's turn
At what point do I need to reload?
now
Okay, then yeah, I'll have to reload.
because you're just slamming the trigger,
Yeah,
but you've already
yeah.
fired your 2 shots. Bishop, this might be it. This is your turn.
Do I need to roll to hit?
Yeah, I say you would need to roll the hit for this one because it's dramatic.
My guts are spilling out.
Yeah.
Regular success.
Okay, roll d12.
10.
Oh man! All right. So as it's digging into your head, you're like shooting into its skull, and it just drops down. You can feel its weight pressing against you, and yeah, maybe you start crying because whatever this is, it's over. It's over. And that phrase just keeps repeating in your head, this trauma, it's over, it's over, it's over. What is everyone doing now that we're out of combat?
Well, I don't know that you're out of combat yet, so
Yeah, Axel, you're just watching, but they've stopped shooting.
Medic.
Yeah, I'm gonna patch up Bishop.
Okay, so before you do that, we're gonna roll for that green sauce. Give me one more con roll. If you fail this, Bishop, you're succumbing to
Bishop
Jimson
and
Lee.
myself, or just
Yes.
Bishop?
Both of you.
One more con roll.
09.
All right, you're fine.
92.
Okay, so your body goes into shock and you start foaming from the mouth.
Is there anything I can do for Bishop in this moment?
I would say no, because you don't have anything like Narcan or.
I don't.
Alston, is it done?
You.
It's dead. It's dead, and so is your
bastard.
fucking friend too. You coward. padding,
And
but I know it's useless.
I'll run over there also to try to help.
Yeah, it's too late. You don't have the medical supplies. You don't have I think it's called
Right.
bisostigmine. Yeah.
Right. I'll run over to Moth.
You stay the fuck away from me.
Is it dead? Did you see it go?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see its corpse
We
like
killed
slumped
it.
onto Bishop.
No thanks to you.
I dropped the gun and I'm just walking back at this point. Like I'm going home. I've dropped the gun and I am walking down the mountain. Fuck that.
Yeah, I'm going too, but I'm like taking a wide berth around Axon.
I don't know what you're blaming me for. Somebody had to stay sober. I think I'm the one that figured out most of what the hell was going on.
I'm sorry. I believe that was me. But you guys wouldn't listen. And now Artemis and Bishop and Sherlock are dead.
It's your job.
Right. So as the two make their way down the mountain, we will end with Axon just staring at this awful scene, and that's where we'll fade to black.
Cool.
Fertile.
I took some serious sanity loss watching, but
Yeah, I lost a lot of things.
I'm going to go back to my old job.
Oh, that was great.
I said it was because she was in kind of a loopy state. She could see it while she was conscious. I was
No,
right.
you nailed it.
I was
Nailed
dead
it.
on the money.
Yeah, but what if you were wrong? How
I
could we
wasn't,
know?
though.
Hey guys,
But you were
let's just
hyped
go
up on
take all the
drugs.
drugs. And you guys were like, no, Sherlock, we don't
I
need
laid
any
it all out
drugs.
before I was on drugs. All right.
I know, dude.
You did?
I explained it all, and then I said, I'm not going to sleep because this thing's going to hunt tonight, and I don't want to be killed. And I was the only one who stayed up, and I survived. And I saw
You know
the
what?
thing.
You only survived because I had them
David,
knock
you
you
read it.
out so that you wouldn't be still hallucinating.
Yeah, because none of you would take the drugs and save me in time. Like what happened to Sherlock. Sherlock did it, but he didn't have the strength in numbers.
I died to teach everyone a valuable lesson.
Bishop made the ultimate sacrifice.
Yeah, Bishop was a hero.
Yeah, it was cool.
So Alex was the only way to kill it to hallucinate and kill it in the hallucination?
Yep.
Where did it come from?
So the cult wanted to do they consume these lethal quantities of Jimson weave to try and conjure forth this animal, and apparently it actually worked, but it wasn't a white horse that was giving wishes. It was something else. It was this apex predator of the dreamlands, and it got more and more bold the more it killed. So that's why at first it only went against things that offended it or saw it, and when I say offended it, like it tried to feed off the woman, and she tried to fight back, and that's why it went after her next. The newest body, Blake, he got thrown from a horse, and it goes after people who offend horses. Yeah. And
what about the
Oscar,
guy who was
victim of circumstance, just a random person, because it was just going to start killing people to feed off them more and more every night.
Why the 2-day interval at the start?
I can't really explain it, but I would argue that it was getting more and more bold.
Yeah, like materializing more, getting more powerful, something like that.
Yeah, and basically you could target anyone in REM sleep or who are hallucinating.
Cool.
Cool.
Wow.
So if Bishop had only stuck to sleep aids, he might have survived.
Might have.
But he kind of thought the magic ways were the true ways. Oops. Couple well-timed 90s really can affect the course of circumstances.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
Well, and yeah, Morgan missing his shot, and I mean, my last shotgun shot was like a 97. So
Yeah, that was Behold the Nightmare. It was super lethal.
We did.
Pretty cool.
We beheld it.
Cool. Our players included Holly Buto, Morgan Llewellyn, Kaylin McDowell, David Gasway, and myself, with Alex Sun as the handler. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Spotify, iTunes, and Podbean. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 to a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Delta Green role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.